Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here. Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys.
Upgrade your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday.
A lot of names, a lot of familiar faces, and another chance for $50 to sign up for PSR Gold. It's going to be a lot of fun. Why wouldn't you want to be on this list, huh? Frank, that's a great question. Does AI determine the winner? No, Frank. The fastest horse does. So shout out to everyone that's a member. We appreciate you guys. We let our horses run forever. 2.5 hours.
Hey, what were you saying?
It's San Antonio. Here we go.
And they are off.
You know I'm not winning this. My horse ain't like this.
And here comes Big Show, who says 2 minutes is too long. Big Show wants this race to end right now. Going to be moving into the stretch soon. K-Wolf up front. Saturated making a move. And there's nasty motherfucking Nate. Director 97. And he should have been Director 97. $100. P1ing all the money.
Oh my God, Director!
And it's Director 97. Back.
Oh my God!
Fresh, take it home! Here's 6, 5, 4! Oh God! Saturated. Friedrich gonna come home with it. Is it Billy Friedrich's time? Is it his time? No, it's not. Cody Norton making this doing the 5 minutes as well. Doing the 5. How dare you throw that down? Does Coin have enough space to get home? Or will Daby take care of business? Here comes the show. A third win for Director 97.
But Connor Mack takes out. He might be blowing his load a little bit too early. Does anybody? The contestant, here comes Iron Eagle out of nowhere. Iron Eagle.
It's a packed race. 5 seconds. Bristol from the back. Bristol. The family wants that.
Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty, up the cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated, Pub Sports Radio. Time to get educated, Bouquett produced, fade the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call the truth. They get slaughtered, can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a little weapon, cause we be, oh yeah, pubbing. We be pubbing!
What up, cappers, gamblers, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, July 10th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. A lot of heavy moves to make. We have WNBA starting in 11 minutes. So we have no time really to give you guys the shout outs that you all truly deserve. But I will do that as we move forward throughout our show. Billy Friedrich in with Pig Milk play today. Justin McKelvey with the Stacks play of the day. I'll be copying and pasting all of this. We got Mikey Money, Wine Time, Jay Peasy, Kong's Clip Smash play today. Christopher Sanchez over 17.5 outs, putting 3 units on that. I'm also on the Phillies' first 5, a bounce back spot for Sanchez. We got Swiggy, Gerald Jones, Ron Crawford, Joey Harb, Perky, Bumps, Sanderson, and Wine Time saying the Rays were a beautiful thing yesterday. Yeah, cashed the team total over 3.5 in the first inning. The first 5 was very relaxing. It was a 3-2 day yesterday, but we'll go over all of that. Right now, we got to get action in WNBA, and we have just the man for the job coming to us from South Jersey. Please welcome the star of basketball capping on our channel, as well as MMA. His big podcast alongside Brizzy, Big Show, and 2 Cents is available now for UFC this week. Check it out on our homepage. They've been absolutely crushing. Shout out to Ricky Bobby gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership and Kong's Clips, getting it. I love it. Tori Coker, I just heard what you've had to go through the last couple of days, and that's more important than any action and anything. I'm so sorry that you had to go through that with your family, and our thoughts are with you right now. If Tori wants to go into details, he can. I won't go into details unless he wants to. But just know that our thoughts are with you. Our prayers are with you and your family. And I know that you can help them guide through all of this, but it's not easy. And thank God they have your strong shoulders to help carry the family through all this. And just know that we're thinking about you. And although, I mean, it's just a tiny little thing, but we're thinking about you. We're sending our most positive energy towards you. And sorry that you have to go through this. Life is tough and unrelenting at times. And we love you, man. So stand strong. And I'm sorry. Really, really sorry you have to go through this shit, man. But you handle everything with such strength and dignity, and I know you'll do this here, but I'm sorry that you have to go through it. Let's get rolling and bring on your first guest, our friend Billy Brisbane, to the show. Brizzy, how are you, my friend? And shout out to Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby there, plus 5071 parlay he cashed yesterday. I'd love to see it. Brizzy, how are you, my man?
Doing good, man. Can't complain. Nice little tune-up spot over the weekend. Got the sleep schedule right. We're getting in for the long haul of the month of July. Locked in. Camp Day, baby. The best day in the WNBA is Camp Day. If you guys haven't been here with us on the channel, hey, Camp Day's been profitable for us. Last Camp Day, last week, we fucking smashed on the wings.
We did, and we must do that again. And we have only 8 minutes to get in our first action. So let's just get right into our first spot. Jose will be back in our... Oh, Jose's rocking with us right now. Beautiful. Okay, let's roll Brizzy. 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 minutes to tip off. New York Liberty, 17-4, 7-3 on the road at the Connecticut Sun. Also 17-4, 9-2 at home. Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut, a casino that you've spent a lot of time at, Brizzy. Liberty coming in off of a loss at the Fever, 83-78. Both teams have had quite a bit of time off. Liberty played on Saturday. Connecticut played on Sunday. Connecticut's won 3 straight. They won 2 at home. They beat Phoenix in Phoenix. They beat the Lynx in Minnesota, and then handled the Dream by 13 in their last spot. Let's get into this line history again. We have 7 minutes until we pop off here. Line history wise, we have the Liberty sitting at -2.5 at -101. So there's been 6 cents of movement towards the Connecticut Sun. And in the total here for this one, we have 159. This opened up at 157.5. It's climbed a 1.5. We get into the cash flow for this game again, popping off in 7 minutes. 78% of the tickets are on the Liberty. We have no cash flow on that, but we do have cash flow on the money line. 70% of the tickets and 65% of cash on the Liberty. 72% of tickets and 91% of cash on the under. And now this thing just keeps climbing. It's climbed 2 points or 1.5. Wine Time says he wants the Liberty here. Justin McKelvey's the Liberty -136 in his pocket. Take it away for us, Brizzy, Liberty Sun.
Yeah, when these two teams face off, let's say if you never watched the WNBA, a comparable NBA series for these two teams is the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers. The Liberty being the Nuggets and the Suns being the Lakers. It just feels like the Liberty have their number, winning 5 straight head-to-head. They beat them in the playoffs last year. They're coming off an offset loss, blowing the game late in Indiana on Saturday to Caitlin Clark. I expect them to come out with a little bit of defensive intensity here, but without Banaj, Laney, Hamilton, maybe that doesn't happen as much. He's by far their best defender. That kind of forces Courtney Van Sloot in the point guard position there. And the Sun are the slowest paced team in the WNBA, so I feel like both teams are kind of playing to each other's style. But there's something about the Sun here in this specific spot. I don't want to bet them, but I think that's the right side with them being a home underdog. I think I'm going to pass on this game, but I know if I was closing my eyes and imagining if I was in the casino in Mohegan Sun and I woke up at 11 o'clock in the morning and I was in an empty casino and I saw a bunch of people go to the kiosk, I don't think they're betting on the Connecticut Sun. So I would probably go fade the public here in this one and go with the Connecticut Sun at plus 106, but it's not something I'm convicted on.
Dutch boy fresh in the house. Great to see you, Dutch. Is there anything that you're looking for live action as we'll be following this as we go?
Yes, the Liberty have the best first quarter ATS in the WNBA. So around halftime, let's say if the Liberty are up, I'll be looking to live bet the Connecticut Sun.
Okay, and what about totals wise? Did you have a lean? So if we get a 6 to 7 point advantage one way, is there something you're looking for?
I lean under, but I mean, everybody and their mom is going to be on the under at 11 o'clock WNBA game, especially with the Connecticut Sun, who are already like one of the most under teams in the WNBA. But I think without Banaj, Laney, Hamilton, I kind of want to see how the defensive rotations are going to go a little bit here. Dewana Bonner might be in a really good spot. I don't see they're going to have to put like B Stew on her or something like that. But B Stew going back into her home state, if you want to say, play collegiate ball at UConn. We got a lot of those on the slate today. I definitely think B Stew could have a game today. Her point prop's 18.5. She's coming off of a stinker, but the game before that she smashed. Her double prop is even rangeable. Yeah, her double prop's plus 135. Her assist percentage and rebound percentage should go up without Banaj, Laney, Hamilton in the lineup here.
So you are going to be with us for the next little while. We have 4 more games to cap. So keep an eye, as we all will, on what's going on live in this game. Let us know if you have a lean or something that we can move on. I'm not going to move pregame on this. So we'll be keeping a close eye. This game tips off in 3 minutes. And Brizzy, thanks so much for being ready to come on early so we could be prepared for this game. So we've got Liberty looks from Wine Time and Justin McKelvey, and that's it. Not a lot of movement here on this, but Mikey Money is getting things started here with the Sun under 159, and he's not lost on any of these WNBA plays of the day. So Mikey Money on the under. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's keep a very, very close eye on the total and what happens within it. Ron Crawford, here we go. You have Ron Crawford on the Sun +3. So there we go. We have our first capper on the other side. So let's keep a close eye on all of that. Sorry to hear that, Goran Nikovsky. We'll go over your spot. It sucks when things like that happen. But look, it's not an L. We'll study it and you'll have opportunities for it. T Gray says, it's my birthday. You know what that means? Let's cash. Yes, T Gray. I will copy and paste that. There's a lot of spots that I really like on today's card. Now, I've moved on 5, but I'll put that right at the top of the worksheet. Last birthday pick, we gave out +288 parlay cashed for our man Nordy. So let's get you hooked up here. Bob Harvard in the house. Let's keep rolling here. And we'll be live betting this Liberty Connecticut Sun game as the game goes on. Next up for us, 12 p.m. Eastern. So in an hour and 1 minute, we have the Washington Mystics 5-17, 2-10 on the road at the Indiana Fever, 9-13, 5-4 at home. We're at Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Brizzy, you've had a great eye on this, or a feel, I should say, probably, for this Indiana Fever squad. When to fade Caitlin Clark's player props, when to back the team. They're coming off a huge win at home, 83-78 at home over the Liberty. And the Mystics are coming off back-to-back losses against two very tough opponents at the Aces. They lose by 21, and then they lose by 7 at Minnesota. Do they have the ability to maybe smack an overconfident Indiana, or not smack, but defeat or cover against a overconfident Indiana Fever squad? Right now, this total is sitting at 155.5. This opened up at 157.5 at Pinnacle, so we have a 2-point drop towards the under there. And on the spread, we are sitting here with, I think I might have done that wrong. Sorry, my bad. That was Atlanta, Chicago. I screwed that up completely. I'm sorry. Of course, you guys were probably thinking, how could it be that low? My apologies. This is at one. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. This is now at 169. My bad. I was looking at Atlanta, Chicago. 169. So it opened up at 168. We've gone up 1 point to 169. And on the spread, we have Chicago also in the same spot, and Phoenix almost also in the same spot. They're all at 7 or 7.5 point favorites at home. Indiana sitting at -7. They opened up at -6. They got up to 7.5. There's been a half point of buyback, but a full point move towards them. When we get to the cash flow for this one, we get no help. All we know is that 62% of the tickets are on the Indiana Fever. Take it away. We did the X's and O's. Take it away for us, Brizzy, your plan for Mystics Fever.
Yeah, there's a case to be made that this is the left spot for the Fever coming off that big win over the weekend. But that's kind of more due to the national attention that Caitlin Clark got for the triple-double. But in general, like, if you've been watching the WNBA and the Fever, they've just been playing better basketball across the last couple of weeks. Against teams with a losing record this year, Indiana's won 5 of its last 6. Both totals between these teams snuck right over that 168 total, so I'm not surprised that a little bit of money's coming in on the over here. Washington's allowing 85 points per game in their last 4 games, and then Indiana's allowing 85 in their last 5 games. Both teams are tied for last in the WNBA for opposing free throw attempts per game. Offensively, Washington's second in the WNBA for 3-pointers, and the Fever are 4th in the WNBA for 3-pointers in that category. So, when I'm kind of looking at the game, I think the Fever win. It's like one of those ones where, like, yeah, you could take the points with the Mystic. Could it be too much? But it's just like, I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I feel like I make my money on betting on the team that I think is going to win, not the team that I think that's going to cover. Usually more times than not, that steers me into the right direction. And I think the Fever are going to win this game here. But if you like the Mystic, I cannot tell you not to not bet them in the first half. They have one of the better first half ATS numbers in the whole entire WNBA, just in general. But usually they're catching a lot of points. It's a so-so type of game, but we're on the Indiana Fever -6, now 7. And we're going to have to double on the double result here. This is just a little sprinkle. This would be like a half unit, quarter unit, depending on what your bankroll size is. Washington Mystic first half and the Indiana Fever full game +500.
So let's get your action here, Brizzy. What did you get the Fever at?
-6, -110.
-6. Yeah, it's gone now, but still close to that. DC Capper with you on the 6. And then what was your double result?
Washington Mystic to win the first half and Indiana to win the full game +500.
Mystics Fever at +500. If I capped this sport, I would think this was the perfect opportunity to back the Mystics. I won't do it with you being on the Fever. It just feels like the Fever are riding very high after that win over the Liberty. The Mystics just played arguably the top 2 teams. Well, obviously the Aces would be included, but 2 of the top teams in the league, and are now playing Indiana Fever, that team that might be feeling themselves a little too much. But I won't do that here. I don't know the sport well enough to disagree.
Yeah, bigger picture right now in the playoff standings, Indiana sitting on that last spot. It's not like the
Mhm.
NBA where it goes Eastern Conference, Western Conference. It goes by just the seeding of the records. And Indiana's just been playing good basketball straight up. Like it's one of those ones where like I'm right there with you. It seems like the Mystic would bounce back in this spot. Maybe that's the reason why I like the Mystics first half. Like I want to be on the Mystic in some way, but they're just blowing these games late. So there's no conviction. If they had more people back in the lineup, like there's a lot of injuries. This is the Lou Samuelson game here. Katie Lou Samuelson, starting shooting guard for the Indiana Fever. Her sister's Katie Lou Samuelson of the Mystic. And usually when those two go head to head, I mean, the younger sibling wants to show out on the older sibling. She's not there. Errol Atkins is there. It's like, Ariel Atkins is good, but how good is she really? Shakira Austin's out. It's just a lot of injuries for the Mystic, and it's not the same for the Fever. Like the Fever are just playing really good basketball right now. I think momentum is gonna. I'm riding with the momentum basically here in this spot. I think the momentum's a little bit too strong. Could 7 points be too much? It definitely could be so. But if you're on the Mystic, you gotta take first half Mystic. If you like the Mystic here in this spot, you gotta go first half. Don't go first quarter. Go first half.
Yeah, that screwed me last time. Well, Justin McKelvey on the Mystics first half. I'm going to keep a close eye on that. Again, we have 55 minutes till that pops off. So we will. It's 5-4 Connecticut early against the Liberty. So we've had a lot of scoring in that first minute. Let's just see what's going on live. 161.5, heavily juiced to the over at this point. So the
I think it
question
could
is,
be one of those ones though, Jim. You know how like sometimes in early starts we see this in NCAA, everybody bets to under and everyone's saying, oh, it's going to come off to a slow start. I think there's another side to the coin. What happens if these motherfuckers just don't want to play defense and they're just letting everything go easy and they're like, we'll be fine. We'll get them in the second or third quarter. I feel like we've seen that a lot happen in the NCAA last year, and it kind of has me a little bit hesitant on betting unders because of how over these games have been in the WNBA recently.
immediately a 164.5 here. Immediately, heavily juiced to the over at that. I mean, this is, at what point?
Do we buy?
Yeah, I'm so close here. I'm sitting here staring at it. 164.5. So we've immediately gone up 5 points in a minute and 45 seconds. So now 168.5. Brizzy, we've got after 2 minutes.
Dude, if it starts creeping if that creeps into a low 170 total, FanDuel, you might have got me today because I'm seeing 165.5 minus 118 on FanDuel right now. And they usually have the sharpest total markets when it comes to the W. Them and Fanatics. I could be wrong, but haven't 5 of the last 6 games gone under? Yeah, for the Fever, but I mean, look who the fuck they're playing though. New York Liberty, Las Vegas Aces, Phoenix Mercury, Seattle Storm, Chicago Sky was the last time that the game went over. Yeah, they went under in 4 straight games, but look who the fuck they're playing. Those are all top teams in the WNBA. I think they're going to benefit from kind of a step down in competition. A little bit with the Mystics too. They're on a 3-game road trip here, 4th game of a road trip here, and they're just not playing a bunch of defense. It's like, how do you bet an under on the team that's favored? It doesn't play defense. Dog doesn't play defense. It's just like, I feel like the total was kind of there for the taking, but I literally in the first 2 meetings this year for these 2 teams have bet the over in both games. So it's just like, I don't want to be pressing my luck here in this one.
I just moved on the under 168.5 just for 100. Small live bet here. It's heavily juiced to the over already at 168.5. There's, after that last bucket, 9-point advantage. I took it right off the hop, a 9-point advantage. We'll see how that bangs out. We'll keep a very close eye on this as well. The Sun are up plus 4.5 here, and we'll be watching closely. All right, and we'll be live betting these games together throughout the show. Let's move on to the next spot on the board, Brizzy. We have the Atlanta Dream at the Chicago Sky. Dream Sky here. We got Joe Tordero in the house rolling with us. Great to see you, Joe. And Perky took that under 80.5 as well. And Kong says, let me know when that first quarter is over. Said took the Liberty minus a half point. Absolutely. And you're in great shape right now. It's 14-9 for the Liberty with 5:39 left. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Let's keep rolling. So next up, we have Dream Sky. The Dream in the throes of a 4-game losing streak. 3 of those games have come on the road where they are right now. We last saw them on Sunday night in that 13-point loss at the Connecticut Sun. The Sky went into the Storm and beat them 88-84. And, of course, the Storm slapped back, beat them by 13. Both teams played on Sunday night. So that snapped this guy's 2-game winning streak. Let's get into the line history here for this one. Line history here for this one. We have the Sky -7 at -1. Now -103. So, -111. My bad. Looking at -7 at -111. So we got a 1-point move and juice towards the Chicago Sky. When we get to the total in this one, we have it sitting at 155.5. This opened up at 157.5. And interestingly enough, it got up to 158.5 before it started dropping. And drop it did. So we have a 2-point move towards the under. And when we get into the cash flow, we have 74% of the tickets and 92% of the cash on the Chicago Sky. 67% of tickets on the over, and this has been a pretty legit drop. Take it away for us, Brizzy. Game 3 on the 5-game WNBA card, Dream Sky at Wintrust Arena in Chicago.
Yeah, these two teams just played each other last Tuesday in a game where the Sky won 85-77 at pick'em prices. We're all over the Sky there in that one. It feels like the bookies were kind of playing into the head-to-head historical trends, but not really the narrative. And the narrative for this game, there's only one thing to fucking look at. No, it's not Angel Reese's fucking rebounds. It is Kennedy Carter, man. She was cut from the Atlanta Dream last year as a locker room distraction. One of the most absurd things I've ever seen in the WNBA history. They literally try to isolate her from getting signed from any WNBA team last year. And then she ended up getting signed by the Sky because they got their new head coach this year. And I guess she was friends with Kennedy Carter. And she's absolutely smashing. She's honestly the most underrated player in the WNBA, in my opinion. Her burst of speed is just ridiculous. In the first meeting in Atlanta, she went off for 26 points. Her point prop was at 14.5, literally cashed that in the first half. The Sky were able to finish that game strong in the fourth quarter, which hasn't really been the memo for them this year. It's been a problem for them this year. They're coming out hot and strong starts in these games, but not really finishing these games well, or kind of leaving it into a little bit of shooting variance. And with this being camp day, that could definitely throw more variance into this game. It's just, as of right now, how do you play it? I feel like if you want to be contrarian, you take the Dream. But man, since they haven't had Jordan Canada or Aerial Powers in the last 3 games, they've been shitty. And I've been betting against them in all those games, and it's been like very easy. Like, they just played the Sun on Sunday, and I've watched them score 4 combined total points for the first 6 minutes of the second quarter. I had the under 156.5 in that game, and literally the total was 128.5 at halftime. It was the Atlanta Dream are just a terrible basketball team right now. They need to fire their head coach. Tina Charles is good at basketball still, but her pace of play they just have to slow games up for her to be effective. She's not a fast break player type of player. So I like the under here. 157.5 is still hanging out there on BetMGM at -120 at BetMGM. They still have that under 157.5. Let me check to see if Brigada's got the same exact thing. Brigada is BetMGM in New Jersey. Yeah, that number hasn't moved. 157.5 BetMGM, best number, -120. Wouldn't blame me for taking the Sky in the first half. I was staring at it, smoked, stared at it, said, nah, I can't do it. I think the under is going to cash in this game pretty mightily, man. I don't I will say this for preferences. I am not looking to bet WNBA unders right now. Right now is not the time before the Olympic break. But damn, do I see this game going under. I can't get those visual images of fucking 4 points scored in the first 6 minutes of that second quarter out of my head. And their numbers are just terrible right now offensively. They just can't find any consistency offensively. Caldwell in the lineup is just not a good ad. For example, in their last game without Jordan Canada, they scored 16 points in the first quarter, 8 points in the second quarter. Like, that tells you everything you need to know. Like, I've seen middle school basketball kids score more points in a quarter than that. So under 157 minus 120.
Under 157.5 minus 120. You said that you were very interested in this guy first half. Justin McKelvey's on that Sky first half. And Collins Clip says, if you had a $500 free bet at the 7, would that be on the Sky? If you like them first half, would that correlate? Or is that too many points? You think the Dream are live?
I gotta say, if it's free, I would. Don't at me. I'm not betting it, but in this scenario, I would take the Dream plus the 7 from just off the fact of it's super contrarian. Chicago Sky are going to be the most public team bet on camp day today. And if you would have told me that 3 weeks ago, that the Sky would be the most public team bet on a slate where we have the Mercury, Aces, Storm, Fever, Liberty, Sun, it's ridiculous. It feels like a little bit too much public money coming in on the Chicago Sky. It's like everybody's like, oh, now we're convinced this is a good basketball team. Last Tuesday, this game was a fucking pick'em, and the bookies didn't know who the fuck to favor. So it's like, I don't know. It seems like a very drastic sentiments in about a week's worth of time.
I love the breakdowns. I love the live action. I love you showing up ready to rock at 10:45, Brizzy. You always got our back, and I love it all. The total, by the way, in that Liberty Sun game went from 171.5 to 168.5 during the timeout. So obviously that under's being hammered. Right now it's down to 165.5. So we will keep a very close eye on it. Sun at plus 4.5. So looking live, obviously I'm going to keep an eye on that Mystics Fever game, but it feels like if Justin McKelvey is right and you're right with that Sky first half, that we might look for the Dream alive as well. Billy's moved on that under 157.5. We've seen some sharp books move it to 155.5. So if that total is high, we're going to look to bet on that under here. So let's keep rolling. Dutch Boy Fresh says, Billy motherfucker kid knows these ladies like no other. Getting a lot of love in the building. Shout out to Chill Will and Lil Domo, Isaiah Scurry, Von Polo, the Wham Bam 3000. We got the legend Trot Wham in the house. Let's roll on. So that's the early action that we're going to be able to live bet. So in review, Brizzy is on the Fever -6. That's at -7 now. He has a double result bet for as much smaller for Mystics to win the first half and Fever the second half. That's 5-1. Then he's on the under 157.5 in the Dream Sky. Justin McKelvey's on Mystics first half plus 3.5, and he's on the Chicago Sky first half -3.5. We roll on Brizzy. Let's take another look at what's going on. Some points have just been scored, so we're now back at 170.5. This total flying all over the place. So we got 207 left in the first quarter. 42 points have been scored in the first quarter, and that total just jumped from 165.5 to 170.5. We'll be keeping an eye on it. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board for us. That is the Las Vegas Aces, 13-7, 5-3 on the road at Seattle Storm, 14-7, 9-2 at home. We're at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. Taking a look at the situation, Aces bounced back from that loss in overtime at home to the Sparks. That was the spot that Brizzy gave us the Sparks on. It was the second half of the back-to-back for the Aces. So they finished up their third game in 4 nights. Some would say a difficult spot for a basketball team with the Plum. They smashed and grabbed the Wings 104-85 at home, winning by 19. The Storm bounced back, as we said, against the Sky. They lose by 4. Come back on that was on Friday. They come back on Sunday and take care of business, beating them 84-71. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have this total sitting at 172. It's 172. It opened up at 172.5. This got up to 173.5 and was, juiced to the over before it started dropping. So it's dropping now. Let's get into the spread. This spread is sitting right now with the Seattle Storm plus 4.5 at home. This did drop to 4. It dropped to 4 for less than an hour, 42 minutes. Came back to 4.5, which is where it is right now. When we take a look at the cash flow for this spot, we have 49% of the tickets and 88% of the cash on the Storm. Don't really see the line moving in their direction. 75% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the over. 97% of the cash on the over. Wow. Take it away, Brizzy. Game 4 of the 5-game WNBA card, Aces Storm.
Yeah, Justin McAvee knows what's up. We're on the Las Vegas team total under 88.5 minus 110 here. Due to a scheduling spot here for the Storm, it's hard for me not to look their way. This is the 7th straight home game for them in a ridiculous 9-game homestand for the fucking Storm. And we talked about the last time we broke down the Storm games of how good they play at home. The Aces were able to bounce back, smashing the Wings in that game, but it's the fucking Dallas Wings, dude. Dallas Wings suck. Was all over the over in that one, but their sportsbook lines have just been inflated. This is one of the lower lines we're going to see for the Aces since Gray's been back. Anytime the Aces play, my first thought is over, and that's probably the public's first thought as well. But the last time these two teams played, I bet the over. And reality of sports gambling is, would you place that bet again, or did you get lucky? I got lucky straight up. That shit was not supposed to go over at all whatsoever. It went over. Cash to Skylar Diggins-Smith assist prop. I think the defensive intensity will be there for the Storm. Early start time here, I think that's going to benefit the Storm here. This is camp day. I feel like this is going to be a Seattle-centric crowd. I know Plum Dog is coming back to her hometown in Seattle. Played collegiate basketball at Washington. She was the leading scorer in the NCAA history before Caitlin Clark at Iowa came around the corner. But I don't think Plum Dog's in the best matchups here in this spot. The Storm have only given up 90 points twice this whole season. One of those times were against the Aces. I like the under, and I like the Aces team total under, and we're on the Aces team total under 88.5 minus 110.
Aces team total under 88.5 at minus 110. I love the look. Very
kind of what Justin McAvee says. The Storm gave up 90 points twice. Once in OT, and the other one is against the Aces. I don't know what the fuck the bookies are smoking, but just because it's the two better teams in the Western Conference playing against each other doesn't mean that 173 total is correct, in my opinion. I think if the Aces win this game, they probably win at 88, 82. That still cashes to under. If the Seattle Storm win this game, I think they win it by 6 or more.
Wow. But your only official look is the Aces team total under 88.5.
Yeah, because I actually think that's just I don't if you bet the +5, you're basically saying the Seattle Storm are going to win the game. At that point, if I think that they're going to win the game, why do I think they're going to win the game? I think they're going to win the game because they're going to play defense and really try to slow down the Aces and make them play in the half court because they can't defend the 3-point line. So it's I think the Aces team total goes under, in a win or a loss. So it's I gotta go team total. Because at first I was thinking when I first saw the game, over, Seattle Storm over, and then I started thinking about it and I was like, nah, the over is not the play. It's the under in this one, and specifically the Aces team total under. They're being way overvalued here by the sports betting market. They're kind of putting a computerized line, not really a line that reflects the Seattle Storm home results this year. And this is the 7th game of a ridiculous 9-game homestand. 9 games in a row at fucking home is just absurd, man. 7 straight. This is the game that you get up for. I mean, the Aces here, this is an in-season revenge spot. They got blown out by them the last time that they played. I like the Storm here a lot.
I like it. It's a great breakdown, Brizzy. Aces team total under 88.5. I have many asterisks beside it. I'd like to move on that here during the show. Let's roll on to the final spot on the board. Shout out to Kong's Clips getting his day started with the winner. Liberty first quarter -0.5, up 10 at the quarter. So you can get the Sun here at +7.5 at +105. Connecticut Sun +7.5 +105.
Wait, did you really?
if interested. Now that's a plus money spot too. I'm sure there's 8s and 8.5s at other books with
I'm
juice.
taking that right now.
You're
I
taking
hate to
this.
cut you off. I'm taking that right now. Plus 8.5. Connecticut's on. I was trying to wait till halftime, but that's a good number.
Brizzy,
The Liberty best first quarter team to WNBA, but I mean after that, I mean they kind of go to shit a little bit. I've seen them be up by 12, 14 points and then the game be tied at halftime.
Brizzy moving here on the Sun at plus 7.5 at plus 105. Hard not to join you on that spot, Brizzy. Let's go back to the cash flow here. Like getting that plus beside it.
That's a
And
lot of points.
wow.
Like we're not even asking them to win the game anymore. Like this is like, can the Sun keep it within a certain amount of possessions? Like FanDuel's got 6.5. I took it on ESPN bet. They had 8.5 minus 120. I'm on it. Not nothing crazy, but definitely like when you go to the bar, you don't want to take a shot as the first drink of the night. You want to get a little draft, get the night going a little bit here. This is the Bud Light draft play of the day.
I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, let's keep. I have not moved on that 7.5. I'm staring at it though. I am staring at it closely. Let's roll on. Final spot on the board again. We got our guy Justin McKelvey, star of the Stacks play of the day, getting us into this. He's on the over 173.5 in this one. Dallas Wings 5-17, 2-11 on the road at the Phoenix Mercury, 11-10, 7-4 at home. We're at the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona. We have the Mercury off back-to-back wins on the road, playing their best ball of the year. They had that loss at home to the Fever, then they lost at home to Connecticut, but went on the road and beat, two weaker ends in the Dallas Wings and the LA Sparks, but 2 road victories all the same. The Wings had that 85-82 win at home against Atlanta and came back to earth on Sunday night when they lost at Vegas by 19. So both teams with the exact same rest situation. We have Phoenix at minus 7.5 at minus 112, a half-point move towards the Mercury. And on the total, we are sitting here with a 173.5. Now, this has been all over the place. Opened up 173.5, got up to 174.5, down to 172.5, and we're right back from where we started. And cash flow-wise for this spot, we have only information on the spread tickets, 67% of tickets on the Mercury, and on the total, 80% of tickets on the over. Take it away, Brizzy. Our final game on the board. Floor is yours.
Yeah, right off the bat, got to make a note for the Phoenix Mercury. It might not be this game, but I'm expecting either one of these 5 upcoming road trip games, specifically this weekend, Friday and Sunday. I don't think Brittany Griner is going to play. Her significant other is pregnant, and she's about to. Now we're getting into like weird things. I don't know how you know what I'm trying to say. Like she's about to become a dad, but female relationship. I don't know what you call that.
Father.
Yeah, she's about to become a father very shortly. And I don't know when it's going to be, but if you follow her on Instagram, I mean, it looks like that baby's about to pop out any fucking day. So it kind of makes me a little bit hesitant on betting Mercury games like Sunday, for example. I was talking to somebody in the chat. I think it was Dominique Walker. And he asked me if I was on the Mercury. I was like, I'm literally waiting until 10 minutes before the game to bet on a Mercury game with Brittany Griner. Being in or out is a huge fucking difference. This team is trash with her out. With her in, they're top 5 team in the league. But we're going right back to the well here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Dallas, Phoenix, over 173.5. Third meeting between these two teams. Bet on the over in the first 2. I got to go back to the well here. When these two teams last played Wednesday, I love the over on the total of the game more than the side. I thought the total would hit way before you would even sweat the side. And the total hit maybe a minute or 2 in the beginning of the fourth quarter. It was easy. Dallas has scored 88.7 points per game in their last 3 previous games, while the Phoenix Mercury are averaging 85.5 points per game in the last 4 games. But both teams are looking to push the pace here. Both teams struggle to defend. The Wings have just been giving it up. 96.4 points per game in their last 5 games, while the Mercury 86.4 points per game in their last 4. I see this game. These two teams face off. With this being camp day, it's 3:30 hour time, but that's going to be a 12 o'clock noon start for the Mercury. And I feel like the Dallas Wings have been accustomed to playing these camp day spots. I feel like all the camp day spots that we have talked about previously, a lot of them have included the Dallas Wings playing an afternoon game. Maybe their body clocks are going to be adjusted for this one. This isn't their first go around of camp day. I definitely think that the start time is kind of beneficial more to the Wings because I don't see the Phoenix Mercury playing defense in this game, and they're going to leave themselves with a backdoor cover. I believe the first game spread was 5.5. And if you looked at the box scores after, you would think it was a blowout. But if you watch the game live, that game was a fucking nail biter towards like the last 2 minutes. And then the Mercury kind of pulled it around in what I call bullshit time, where free throws, replay reviews, and they were able to cover the spread. But that game was a 2-point game for a majority of that game. Late in that game, the Wings came back. I definitely think they're leaving it out to be desired here. Plus 7.5. Wouldn't mind anybody taking the Wings with that. But I just think the over's the better bet here, man. If the Wings win this game, it's going to be because they scored a certain amount of points. If the Mercury cover the spread, that means they blew them the fuck out and they probably scored 100 points.
I love it. I love all of this breakdown. We got wine time sports action as well. Copy that for our MLB breakdowns. Excellent work, Brizzy. Let's review Brizzy's action here.
I got one more play, by the way. It's a parlay of the picks as well. Because I didn't want to take the Fever minus the 7.5 on Fanatics, so I did Indiana Fever money line under team total for the Las Vegas Aces and the over in the Mercury Wings game, and that was plus 384. Straight bets on the Phoenix Mercury Dallas Wings over 173.5. Straight bet on the Las Vegas Aces team total under 88.5 minus 110. And then we also had a under 157.5 minus 120 at BetMGM for Atlanta Dream, Chicago Sky. And a little bit of double result action here. First half, Mystics, full game, Fever plus 500. And a little bit of money here on the Fever minus the 6. And we just threw a little bit on the 7 too. Just in case, some people are watching the breakdowns, sweat that one with them. And live bet here on the Connecticut Sun plus 8.5. So, yeah, I didn't think I was going to open up the card like this, but camp day, right?
Camp day, baby. Parlay is the Fever money line, Aces team total under 88.5. And what was the third leg?
Dallas Wings, Phoenix Mercury over 173.5.
Over 173.5. And that worked out to a plus, what did you say,
384 on Fanatics.
I love it. Brizzy has spoken. Thank you so much for making time for us today, Brizzy. Now tell us a little bit about the big podcast that has popped off. It premieres every Tuesday at 11 p.m. Eastern, every Tuesday, 11 p.m. Eastern, which means that come football season, our Tuesdays are going to be monstrous because there'll be Bankroll Blitz that will roll right into our big locker room podcast for UFC. So Tuesday night's going to be popping here at Pub Sports Radio. Tell us a little bit about the podcast.
Yeah, podcast UFC Denver going off this weekend here at Pub Sports Radio. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe button here at the channel. Check out the Locker Room podcast last night. We had the hit topic here. The Price is Right. Made some money on that one last week. Bought it back for this week here. And then we got an OnlyFans fade. So make sure you guys check out who the OnlyFans fade of the week is this week. Locker Room podcast. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe. We also have NBA Summer League tonight. I would say, honestly, it's been a rocky start for me in the NBA Summer League. I was really heavy on the Lakers in that first game against the Sacramento Kings 2 team. And the Lakers Summer League team is just bad. They got smoked in that game. And I was like, were they just really bad or the Sacramento Kings team good? And then I ended up fading the Kings team the next day. And then they got blown out by fucking 15 points. So tells you everything you need to know. There's some good games on tonight's card. I like the under in the Miami Heat LA Lakers game, 176.5 under in that one. And then the last game, second to last game of the night, my Philadelphia 76ers here taking on the Utah Jazz. We've played back-to-back days. I think we're going to rest a lot of the guys that we're going to see in Vegas, like Jared McCain, Ricky Council, and I think that they get blown out here in this spot. If you want to take the 8 with the Utah Jazz, I don't blame you. And if you want to take the under or team total under on the Sixers, I don't blame you as well. I'll be looking to fade the Sixers tonight. I think once the lineups come out for the Summer League, I don't think we're playing our studs in this one here. We're already 0-2 in this Utah Jazz Classic thing. And it was really more to get reps in to see who's going to come with us to Vegas. And I don't think we really care about winning these games. I think we just want to be competitive. I think the Utah Jazz, the only thing that they do is they care about fucking winning games. I mean, their Summer League team is very representative of a lot of the players that they had throughout the season. So I think the Utah Jazz Summer League roster is pretty stacked. Up there with the Warriors. The Warriors next week in Vegas, we'll see. They're already -9.5, and Brandon Pisminski's not playing, and Tyrese Davis-Jackson are not playing. They're on Team USA Select. So a lot of things to look out for in the next couple of weeks. I'll try to DM you, and right once we get those Vegas odds for some futures on the Summer League, I definitely think we got to hit a couple of spots. It's not like last year where it's like the Oklahoma City Thunder and everybody else.
And we're going to need you heavy in the Olympic basketball breakdowns. We're all so excited about that. So, you know,
have any thoughts tonight on Canada versus Team USA 12.5 line?
Well, it's moved down from 14.5. I don't care. I don't see why the Americans care. I don't see why the Canadians claim they care very much. They want to send a message to the Americans. Do I want to sit here and believe that? I mean, I don't know what to do with that, you know, honestly. And I don't, but judging by the fact that the Canadians care so much, now also when you care so much before you're in rhythm, it doesn't necessarily, like maybe you want to come out loosey goose with no qualms. It's an interesting situation here. I came so close to betting China yesterday. That, you know, what, plus 36.5 or whatever they were. I couldn't believe it. I was like, China's going to care and play in this basketball game against the Spurs, and they covered that easily. But I didn't bet it because I didn't fully know exactly what I was getting myself into. But what do you think about that America-Canada game tonight?
I have a little bit of qualms here on Team USA. While I think we probably win the Olympics pretty handily, I am a little bit concerned, though. I don't know if a lot of people have seen it, but the what would you say, undercover scrimmage with Team USA versus the select team, that was a 2-point fucking win that came down to a buzzer beater shot at the end of the game for Team USA to beat a select team that was led by fucking 17-year-old Cooper fucking Flag.
But we saw that with the Dream Team, Brizzy.
Yeah.
We saw that with the OG Dream Team. I mean, I think that helps America coming into the Canada game.
It does, but it also could be one of those ones like where the most competitive games that they played were before, like this one. Because I mean, this seems like a spot where Kawhi Leonard just pulled out his name in the pool for the Olympics, and there's definitely some spots opened up, like Tyrese Halliburton, the starting point guard for Team USA. Like, I definitely think that could be changed immediately if somebody has one of these good games in the expedition bouts. I feel like the spots that are open are not locked up. So, like, they could be just one where, like, NBA players look like NBA players. But I'm staying off of it.
It's a big problem with Canada is the 4 and the 5. It's a huge, huge, huge problem. And I still haven't. I've been studying it, studying the team, studying the line, and yes, I find the French appealing to win their group at -175, but -175. I mean, what am I going to put? Like, you got to make a pretty big bet if you're going to bet a -175. I don't. I mean,
I'm not. You might just bet France to medal at that point.
But that hasn't become available for us yet. The medal only winning the group. There's only been 4 futures that was available, at least up until last night. Just before you go, Brizzy, that live total is now 153.5. We have 15 points of wiggle room now. There's only been 11 points scored, and we're over halfway through the second quarter. The Sun have had a slight comeback here. That got up to a plus 11.5. Now it's back to plus 8.5. That is at plus money for your look on the Sun. Lots of time left, but we're in a much now. It's actually 12 points because we got 168.5 to 156.5. 12 points of wiggle room here for that total. So, Brizzy, fantastic work, man. Fantastic work. Don't worry, they will wine time. It will come. And says he'll back Canada live. Yeah, it'll come. You'll get that opportunity. And Andrew G talking about Wemby and Gobert playing together. Brizzy, as always, you deliver. We're very, very thankful to cap with you. We appreciate you. Please support Brizzy at getting _ bills _. But most importantly, support the Locker Room podcast. They're our guys, and we're very proud of the show. So please support it. They're winning, which, when it comes down to it, is the most important thing. So keep up the great work, Brizzy. Any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
Yeah, man. This is just a beautiful day worth of sports. We got camp day, we got midday soccer, and down goes England today. Go Netherlands.
I love it. Perfect setup for us to talk Euro and Copa. So please, without further ado, welcome my co-host, the star of MLB programming here on Pub Sports Radio, coming to us from San Antonio, Texas. They're still dealing with the aftermath of the hurricane, so the power's coming in and out, but he's got the power right now. So please welcome our guy, Mr. Jose Bouquett, to the telecast. Jose, how are you?
Just nonplussed, Jimmy. Nonplussed. Didn't have Wi-Fi forever yesterday. After the show, or actually during the show, I got knocked out. I was awesome. And then in classic fashion, no power as well yesterday after we got Wi-Fi for like 20 minutes. Teased the balls a little bit.
Sure.
And today's been rocky to start, but who knows what's going to happen. I'm excited to be here, and I hope I don't abandon you midway through.
It's okay. We've got you now, so let's get right to work. We start at 3 p.m. Eastern for Netherlands versus England. England, what a team. They've not won a major tournament since 1966. They've never won the Euros, and they will be ready to riot outside of the stadium. The Netherlands haven't made the final since their only tournament win in 1988. So these are two teams starving for Euro glory. And England in the knockout round, both games have gone beyond 90. These teams haven't met in a major tournament since 1996. That was the Euro group stage. England won 4-1. Marcus Anderson has Netherlands to qualify a draw at halftime and draw at full time. And D Mills saying exactly what I want to read. Liberty Sun game, Brick City. Brick City. God, I love when women can't score. Let's take a look at the line history here for that one. And we have, of course, you hear Mikey money on a total, and then you get 9 points of extra juice. You bet it. Now let's cash it, get this day off to a winning start. We are going to be looking at live action for the other WNBA games. But let's get in here to the odds. Oh, sorry, that's WNBA. Sorry, let's get back to the odds page here for the soccer games. And let's see what the move is. Over at Penny, the English are plus 176. They opened up at plus 161. So we have a slight move towards the Netherlands. The draw, but there really hasn't been a move to the Netherlands. That stayed the same. The move is being to the draw. The draw has taken 15 cents of action. When we get to the total in this one, we have it at a 2, and it is even money to the under. So we've had 7 cents of movement towards the under. I do think that there is a difference with this English team. When Bellingham scored that goal, it was a message to the English fans that this team can succeed when everything's sort of stacked up against them. And it wasn't stacked up against them in that game, but, you know, there was in extra time. They never deliver. They're famous for always letting their fans down, for losing in penalty kicks. And I really felt like that Bellingham goal changed the trajectory of this soccer team. And for the first time in my life, Jose, and I'm not a soccer capper, but I've always faded the English. always. And for the first time in my life that I can remember, I'm afraid to. Not that I think they're that good of a team, but they're getting the job done. Take it away, Jose. Netherlands, England.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game for me to bet on. Obviously, I like the Netherlands a lot. My favorite international team. And they've got a lot of Premier League players, so it's going to be interesting. You know, it's Liverpool, Spurs, back too with Mickey and my guy Virgil. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they do because they have the familiarity with the English. I find this to be a tough game. It was in my draw parlay, so I will probably just end up moving on a draw here again. I don't hate an under in this game. I wish it was a 2.5, but we have a 2 here. But yeah, I just think I'm just going to go draw here yet again. It was going to be a fun game to watch. I think it's going to be tight first half, so I don't hate people that are taking first half draw as well there, but I'll just stick with a full-time draw. And I'm getting, well, let me double check what I'm getting at right now. I just looked at, by the way, head-to-head history for these teams. They haven't played since 2019 in the Nations League. Netherlands did win 3-1, which was nice. But I do think this is a Netherlands advanced spot, truly. So I think England comes to roost here. It's very interesting. I'm going to be very interested to watch this game.
Yes, our apologies, B-Lab. So the odds are switched on the graphic. Sports Money, Mikey Money says Netherlands to advance. Keep it simple. Look, England has impressed no one, but they've won, and sometimes that makes me very uncomfortable to fade them. I believe that this is the deepest in a tournament that I've not faded England in my life. Something is just. I know they're not that good, but they're getting the job done. That scares me. What are you getting the draw at? Yes, Sun are down by just 3 now. Brizzy looking very nice with that plus 7.5 Sun, which I could have got at 10.5 and 12.5 even, and was staring at. But the total's at 155.5, which is fine.
Plus 184.
Plus 184. Okay, Jose is in on the draw at plus 184. Ramon says, my favorite 2 choking international soccer teams, they can't get out of their own way. Final score, Netherlands 0, England 1, and Gordon Kowski, England to advance. It's wild for me because I've just faded them nonstop for 30 years and can't do it here. Strategic investments in the house. Philadelphia Phillies minus 135. Yes, I moved on them first 5. I couldn't believe the line at minus 125. And that was at 365 too, which doesn't give you much, but I'm right there with you. Let's roll on to the Copa America, 8 p.m. Eastern, Uruguay versus Colombia, Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. So, Jose, I'm very, very concerned about my Uruguay.
Yeah, the line here, I was pretty surprised.
You know, when you read up on the injuries to Uruguay's defense, you know, it becomes clear as to why this has moved towards Colombia. So, it's moved back to Uruguay. Wow. Who would have thunk that? Wow. So we've had this huge move. I did not expect to see this. Wow. We've had a huge move this morning to Uruguay. God, I did not expect to see that. So Uruguay has moved 20 cents from plus 194 to plus 174. I'm surprised. The draw is taking a little bit of money, but it's gone away from Colombia. I guess that's a good thing, but I'm nervous. I'm not going to hedge or anything like that. But this total is at 2. It got to 1 3/4 there for a cup of coffee. This opened up at 2 even money to the under. It's now minus 124 to the under. So a big move to the under. So Colombia right now is on a 27 match unbeaten streak, 21 wins and 6 draws. They just destroyed Panama. I know that doesn't mean that much. They're the highest scoring team in the tournament, 11 goals. That's the most, that ties actually the most that they've ever scored at a Copa. And James Rodriguez, 5 assists at this tournament. No player has had 6 in the Copa America since 2011. You know, he looks very good. Now, Uruguay is second in goals at 9. And 4 of the last 5 times these teams have placed each other, it's ended in a draw. And the last 3 have ended in draws. Now, Uruguay defensively has conceded just 1 goal at this tournament. So that's the best their defense has looked through 4 matches of Copa since 1959. And Colombia also has only allowed 2 goals. The problem is Barcelona's Ronald Araujo and the center back the right back Nahitan Nandez, who got the red card. They're both out. I guess you can touch on that more succinctly than I can. So, but losing your top 2 defenders against the Colombia team with James Rodriguez playing like this is not a comfortable place. Take it away, Jose. Uruguay, Colombia.
Yeah, Ronald Araujo is good and obviously the best center back they have. I do think that Uruguay can still manage through this game through the first 90 minutes because I think I go back and forth on kind of the extra time going straight to penalties and stuff because as you guys can see, once that's open for teams, it kind of becomes a rock fight. And that is kind of South American soccer. At the end of the day, if these 2 South American teams, are very good and, it's very close on how good they are, they're just going to pound each other and get these yellow cards and play kind of gross football as we've seen throughout the tournament. But I don't know. I think that Colombia is definitely live here. It definitely scares me. And I really hope that Colombia does lose because if they win here, then man of the tournament is going to go to James Rodriguez probably. And it's going to concern me for my Messi bet. And no matter, obviously, no matter what happens, I think he will end up getting it if they end up winning this game. So it's going to be interesting to watch, but I do think that Uruguay can come through here. It's just a scary proposition. I'm off this game. Again, this was a draw for me here. I won't make this one official. I don't hate Joseph Gomez's Alex Classic. Both teams are scoring over 1.5 here. I was kind of thinking 1-1 as well. And I was looking up at the price at that to see if I would be interested in that. But otherwise, I think I'll stay off. Draw. I think it'll end up being 1-1, like I said. But it's a tough game, and I won't have any official action yet. I'm looking up what that price is now.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit back with the plus 450. After I betted, it went up to plus 550. And so I'm uncomfortable, but I like the line going back towards Uruguay. Stimmy OG on it as well. I like all of that. Mikey Money's on Uruguay to advance and parlay them with the Netherlands to advance. Stimmy OG's big on the Netherlands. And it's going to be a fun day. Bodan Sports is on the draw in this one. And as you said, Joseph Gomez on that Alex Classic. And Danny Lopez says this game will be physical. He wants over on the cards. So that is our soccer breakdown as well. WNBA broken down. And it's time to get into Major League Baseball. It was a kind of a annoying day. With Frankie Montas being abandoned, now he's pitching today. They love him, by the way, in the clubhouse, and I want to fade him badly today, and I've been nervous to do it. I'm still interested in it. But the Rockies' first 5+half was voided, and my Minnesota White Sox first 3 under 2.5, first 5 under 4.5 was postponed. And of course, that was the sharp action. I loved the under 2.5 and the under 4.5. You couldn't get the 4.5, at least at any of the books I have, when it was listed. And I think you have to win on the 4. I don't want to push on the 4. Now, I did bet that first 3 under 2.5 again, 5 cents more expensive, which I thought I almost didn't bet. Like, it took me a while to get around. Chicago, Baltimore under 9 was a loss. Rays first 5 cashed. Rays team total over 3.5 cashed in the first inning. Diamondbacks first 5 lost. And Atlanta, Arizona first 5 under 4 cashed. We have BJ's best bet. He is fresh off cashing his best bet yesterday with the Giants. That was a wild way to win it on a wild pitch there. 2 runs from the bum-ass Jays bullpen. But got our man the cash. So BJ's max bet is on this game 1, and we've already heard from Morgan Spooner, who's also on that game 1 spot. So I went 3-2 yesterday. I'll take it. How was your day yesterday?
I went 2-5. I had a shit day. The unders in that Rockies game was disgusting. The delay, just kind of fucked us from then on, and it was gross. So it was kind of a shit day. Freddie Freeman went 0 for 3 and then got pulled. I believe I didn't see these games because obviously I had no Wi-Fi and couldn't tell what the fuck was going on. So that was very annoying. And the Padres didn't show up either. Rays and the Braves first 5 was not bad, but yeah, I just need to stop the skid and keep it going here. I do have a few plays that I like here. One in a doubleheader, not this one. We'll talk about it, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens today as well.
Troy Torrance. Yeah, I love Alec Marsh, and I can't back him today. But we will break all that down. I've got Troy Torrance's action. We want to know everybody's action from the chat. Got everything copied and pasted here. So we also have Troy Torrance on the Cardinals -1. And TJ says value on Kansas City for him. TJ and Daby Cab will be joining us for best bets. And again, TJ continues to deliver. He's fresh off a 3-2 day that really barely added to his ROI. That's what he's doing right here. He's 30-18, hitting at 62.5%. He's plus 10.9 units on 48 bets. That's impressive. ROI plus 22.71%. Hunter Engelhart in the house as well. Great to see you, Hunter. So all the MLB cappers ready to rock. So let's do exactly that. I've got all of the plays of the day here as well from all you guys. And Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today and all that good stuff. So let's get rolling. We have both BJ and Morgan on the Cardinals -1 here in game 1. Kansas City Royals 49-43, 18-25 on the road at St. Louis Cardinals 48-42, 24-18 at Busch Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Let me refresh my weather here because I haven't done that in about 5 hours. We have 79 Fahrenheit, 8.9 miles per hour to right field, dies down to 6.8 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here and the cash flow. We'll start with the line history. Sorry, give me a second to get this all set up. Here we go. We have Palante and the card sitting at -136. They opened up at -126. So we've had 10 cents of movement. We had 14 cents of movement, but there's been 4 cents of buyback in the last 20 minutes. But still 10 cents of movement towards Palante and the St. Louis Cardinals. On the total, we are sitting here at a 9 at Pinnacle. That's where, it opened at 8.5. Excuse me, opened at 8.5. I thought it opened at 9. Opened at 8.5, moved to 9 right around show starting. Then went back to 11.5 20 minutes ago and went back to 9, or I guess the 40 minutes ago, went back to 9 about 15 minutes ago. So we're sitting here. Overall, we've had a move to the over. And this second time it's moved to the over. Take a look at the cash flow for this first game on the board. We're going to be doing both doubleheaders back-to-back. First, we have 79% of tickets, 87% of cash on the Cardinals. Lines moving in the direction. 97% of tickets and 96% cash on the over, and we have a half-run move to the over. Shout out to the Wild Hound. Says the bars are packed here. Literally a sea of orange. Going 1-1 in England to win on penalties. 3 hours till kickoff. The atmosphere is electric. Love from Dortmund. God, how great is Wild Hound? Isn't he a great guy? I love hearing.
Wild Hound is definitely in my top 5 cappers from the chat that I'd most want to hang out with in his elements,
Yeah, that would imagine sitting beside him in the bar right there. It would be magic. And he gets big. He lives a great life too. But that's based on succeeding in capping. That's why he's able to do all these things. I love it, Wild Hound. Enjoy, my friend, and have a beer for us, my friend. But let's roll here. Alec Marsh, 6-6, 4.57 ERA, 1.26 WHIP. His last start, he allowed 5 earned runs over 3 innings at home to the Rays. He's only had 1 good start over his last 4. On the road, he's 2-4 with a 5.21 ERA, 242 opponents batting average, and I like him. Andre Palante on the other side, 4-3. He's got a 4 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. He's coming off a beautiful start at Pittsburgh, 7 innings, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot. He's been decent enough at home. His K to walk ratio has always been a problem, and it's been a problem at home. 16 strikeouts and 10 walks over 19 2/3. He's only allowed 1 home run over the 19 2/3. The Royals are not hitting. Sticks have gone quiet. 233, 697 OPS since June 1st, while the Cards versus righties are 265, 746 OPS. The Royals bullpen has been a problem, while the Cards bullpen is thriving. 2.55 ERA, 1.19 WHIP since June 1st. Royals bullpen 4.30, 1.39. Take it away for us here, Jose, game 1 of the double dip Royals Cards.
Yeah, I thought it was telling to get that switch from Marsh to Waka. You see the price difference from yesterday to today. So I lean Cardinals with you here, but it's tough for me to try to back them here to -130. By the way, Hunter, obviously Hunter's in the bottom 5 of my cappers I want to hang out with. I've tried to make Hunter laugh for like 3 years, and he just sits there stoic as ever. I try to make him laugh, and he just look at me like this. Just that wasn't even funny. So bottom 5 for you, Hunter, obviously, but it's nice to see you in the chat. But yeah, I think the Cardinals do win this game. I was considering a team total, and Troy is spouting that the Royals aren't, not in a good spot here market wise either. But I have no action so far, but still looking at it.
If I'm going to sit here and expect Palante to deliver again, I just don't feel comfortable. I do think that he's a high upside, and Wine Time Sports saying Palante is nasty. He can be.
Mine's up to -137 now, actually, too.
There's a lot that I like in this card, and I'm not going to be moving on this 145 start. Not going to move on it. So let's roll on. Let's roll on to game 2 of that double dip. This one pops off at 7:45 p.m. Eastern. And it's, again, we're in Busch Stadium, and the
Who are
weather,
your pitchers for this one?
Yeah, Waka Gray. Is that everybody's got the same?
Well, I actually now have Waka and Gray Cifio listed now on Bet Online, so it's not Sonny Gray anymore. Yeah, I didn't have lines for this earlier, and I was wondering why, and I guess this is why.
That doesn't surprise me. Sonny Gray's not pitching well. We faded him in his last start, and we should have been rewarded. That one really got me, man. That one, that plus 140 was, I needed it. That would have changed
the other
my
day
whole
with was it the Nationals, right?
Yeah,
that was intensely annoying as well. Yeah, we were up a shitload of runs as
we were
well.
up 5-0. We were up 5-0, but not only that, in that bottom of the 10th, we were -550, loaded bases with 1 out, and we lined into a double play at the end of the inning at -550. So it was extremely, extremely aggravating. But Sonny Gray won't be there for us to fade, and there's a reason why he's not going to be involved here. But we can talk about Waka. So Gordon Gracefo, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know him. So can you pull up a Baseball Reference and give us his breakdown? For Michael Waka, he's been very solid this year, coming off 4-2 win at home versus Tampa. Very solid at home or on the road. He's just been good. The Royals have got a ton out of Waka and Seth Lugo, a ton. So the Royals, again, aren't hitting righties. Bullpen is weak. Cards are hitting righties much harder, and they have a strong bullpen. But we have a new pitcher. It's too bad. Let's take a look at what the line history is here. Now we're sitting at an 8.5. This opened up at 8, and this didn't open up till an hour and a half ago. So Pinnacle was waiting to find out what was good. There's been a half-run move to the over. And on the money line here for this one, game 2 of the double dip at Busch, the Cardinals are -123, and they opened up at -145. Immediately, there was action on the Royals and Waka. Talk to us about this pitcher on the hill.
Yeah, Gordon Gracefio. I don't know how to say his name either. But this is his second appearance in the majors here for good old Gordon. His first one was on the 29th of last month. He didn't start it, but he went 4 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, 2 walks. Now gets his first major league debut. That was against Cincinnati, by the way, as well. So it's going to be very interesting. He's one of the top 36 prospects, or top 32, I guess, if you want to be more specific here, for the Cardinals. I now will tell you he is, as of this was on May 17th, Fangraph ranked the Cardinals prospects. He is 25th here. I mean, I honestly think I think Troy said this as well. If you're going to go out here and throw a 5th round pick from Villanova, actually, if you're going to go out here and throw this guy, it makes it feel like they're going to, kind of sell out for game 1 and try to get a split here. And hopefully Gordon can, just pitch with less, I don't know, less stress in game 2 because they'll only have the game 1 victory here. So honestly, I lean Cardinals even more in game 1, and I was starting to look at it even more to see if there's something I could possibly bet. Cardinals team total maybe, but I do think that Gracefio here could be vulnerable. It's tough to bet on a guy making his debut here. And, Jimmy, we've talked about how, guys drafted out of high school, those are the real studs. 5th round pick in 21 out of Villanova does not really inspire confidence. Now, I'll mention his last few Memphis starts in AAA.
He's been good.
Yeah, 5 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 6 innings, no earned runs. And his last start was only 2 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. But I can throw that out the window here because he's been pretty solid. But I still have my guard up. I still need to see it. I will say, if the Royals are smart, they would be sellers to the trade deadline. They're not. Again, we've talked about there's not going to be that many, and this would be one of those teams that could sell off a piece or two and get some probably good return from it. But I've stayed off this game.
I kind of like what I see from looking at Gracefo. First time I've looked at him. 8-5, 3.86 ERA at AAA Memphis. He spent all year last year at AAA Memphis through 86 innings there. He's got a 1.39 WHIP this year. I don't mind him. It wouldn't surprise me if he has a decent start against the Royals squad that's just not delivering with the sticks. It's funny that these 2 spots were maybe the last games that I capped on this card. I didn't find it appealing here. But let's give a shout out to Bo Dunn Sports. Bo Dunn, a friend of Ron Crawford. Any friend of Ron Crawford is a friend of ours. So shout out to Bo Dunn Sports and welcome. Great to have you in the chat. I love it.
Does Bo Dunn play bass? I could see that. You could see him play bass in the Ron Crawford band. And shout out to Wild Hound joining the
now
pub
a member of
membership.
Pubbing. I love it, Wild Hound. So let's roll on to the next double dip. 2:10 p.m. Eastern. Minnesota Twins 52-39, 25-21 on the road at the Chicago White Sox 26-67, 16-30 at home. We're at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, we're going to be hammering MLB here, obviously, but the action has started in the 2 noon games. Mystics Fever and Sky Dream have both gone off to very slow starts for the underbetters. The Dream are now 3+ minutes in and have yet to score a point. They're now plus 8.5, total at 148.5. And Mystics Fever is 6-5 Mystics 3 minutes in. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Mystics are plus 5.5 live. And of course, we already heard from our guys who are on Mystics first half in this one. So wine times on the game 1 under 8 in Twins White Sox. Look, I watch Bailey Ober and Eric Fetty closely. I think this is a very good under. But I wanted the 4.5 that I got yesterday. And I just don't want that 4 to be a push. And so I haven't bet it. I did bet again the first 3 under 2.5 at 5 cents worse price. That's a first 3 under 2.5 at minus 130. Also, the weather's. This is just, it sucks. It was my favorite bet on the entire board yesterday. We've had the wind die down a bit. 75 Fahrenheit, 6.3 miles per hour out to right field, dies down to 5.7 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for Ober versus Fetty. Yesterday, we knew that our guy Billy Friedrich had Fetty first 5 plus a half as his play of the day. Not the case today. It's O's first 5 minus a half, and he's working today, so we won't be able to hear why. I'd love to know why he's not on them today, or at least on Fetty first 5 plus a half in this one. But let's talk about the line history and the spot. We have the White Sox sitting at plus 141. They opened up at plus 140. So we've had no movement here on the side. And on the total, we have the White Sox right now sitting at 8 minus 102 to the under. This opened up minus 109 to the under. So we've had 7 cents of movement towards the over. Now, I didn't even move on it last game because of my fear of what the Twins are doing to righties and my continued fear on the White Sox bullpen. Yes, the White Sox are pitching a little better, but I'm still uncomfortable. Hunter Engelhart on White Sox first half and first 3, and Troy Torrance is on the Twins money line and the -1. Shout out to you, Wildhound, my man. I love it. So let's get into the cash flow then for this spot. 97% of tickets, 96% of cash on the over. There is a 9, but it's at plus money on the over. And then on the money line, we have 79%. Oh shit, I'm looking at the wrong. Sorry, you guys. Let's go back to this here. Sorry, let me do this again. So yes, we have 85. God, sorry. 95% of the tickets and 81% of the cash on the over. So, 5% of the tickets and 19% of cash on the under is appealing, but there has been a 7-cent move towards the over. Then you have 86% of the tickets and 99% of the cash on the Minnesota Twins. Wine Time says, I expect Fetty to shove against the Twins lineup, and Bailey Ober should shut this White Sox batting order completely down. Look, I'm on the first 3 under 2.5, but that's as much as I'm going to invest in it. Bailey Ober, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned run. It was a solo shot. Oh, I don't know if it was a solo shot because there was 3 runs scored, but 1 earned. 8 Ks and no walks, and 12-3 extra inning win at home over the Tigers. On the road, he's not been very good, 4.69 ERA, but he had a really rough start to the year. He's just been rolling right now. Eric Fetty coming off a great start. It was a nice bounce-back start for him. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 3 Ks, 3 walks, and 8-2 win at the Guardians. We were on him, and he cashed for us. At home, he's been very good, but remember, 5 of his last 6 starts have been on the road, and that one home start wasn't that good. So I'm interested in what he's going to do here at home. 199 opponent's batting average, 1.64 ERA. The Twins rake righties. We know that. 288, 834 OPS since June 1st, while the White Sox are not hitting. 225, 657 OPS. And this Twins bullpen has been quite strong. 3.57 ERA, 1.16 whip. Troy Torrance says White Sox are 1-12 this season with 1 day off, 1 or more day off. Joey Harb leading to the over. Take it away for us, Jose Bouquett. This is my first official bet here on the show. First 3 under 2.5 -130. Take it away, Twins, White Sox.
Yeah, I'll move on this game as well. I'll move on. And if it was Billy Friedrich, right? You said he's working first 5 plus a half. I'm on that. I'm going to be on it, I should say. I just wrote it down.
But he's not on it today. That was yesterday.
But I'll be on it today. -115 plus a half there. I do expect this to be a low scoring game. I'm taking the full game under as well, -104. Why am I taking full game instead of first 5? I've just had a shitty first 5 record, and I think that day off definitely is going to help both bullpens. They both needed it, I'll tell you that. I'm a little concerned still about the White Sox bullpen, but I will have faith in them here, and I will ride with the under here. And the Twins bullpen obviously got that full day of rest yesterday as well. Not as taxed as the White Sox, but just obviously better, and I have a faith in them as well. So full game under, first 5 plus a half for the White Sox for me.
You got it. In this type of matchup, if I'm right about these starting pitchers, I do not want to lose money if it's 1-0 Twins or 2-1 Twins. I completely get your White Sox first 5 plus a half. The under 8, I didn't even want yesterday. So I'm not going to take it here today. But I like my first 3 under 2.5. I hate putting up that -130 juice. I will definitely cheer you on. Let's talk about game 2 here, because you guys know I love the Torpedo. I watched the entire game of Torpedo versus Brian Hoeing. I cashed the first 5 under and the full game under on Friday. And I think Torpedo's the real deal. Now, he's only at home pitched a few innings. I think 6 innings at home this year. He's only thrown 26 2/3 on the season. And I really want to talk about this baseball game because I believe that Pablo Lopez should bounce back here. He had 2 good starts in a row before he got lit up and smoked by the Astros. Jose, I really want to hear your thoughts on your Venezuelan brethren here, Pablo Lopez. He got lit up for 6 earned runs over 5 innings in that 13-12 loss at home versus the Astros. He's been better on the road than he's been at home. He's allowed 10 home runs on the road over 52 innings, but 67 Ks, 14 walks, 207 opponents batting average. This should be the kind of lineup that he can shut down. Shout out to Kelsey. Great to see you. This should be the lineup that he should be able to shut down. But I expect Torpedo's changeup. You talked about it. You talked about it before he pitched an inning in the major leagues. His changeup is the best in baseball. I mean, we're saying that about a rookie who's throwing 26 innings. That's how good his changeup is. It's absolutely phenomenal. And LJ from H-Town says Twins -1.5. Pablo Lopez in great spot. White Sox are 1-13 last 14 games. The third game of the series. Twins 10-4, third game of a road series. So I would like to be involved in this one. I would like to be involved, but I needed to hear everybody's thoughts on Pablo Lopez. This total, by the way, opened up this morning at 7:56 at 8. And by 10 a.m., this was 7.5. And it wasn't a plus 106 to the under. It moved to plus 102 to the under. So it was almost legitimate. Then it goes up a full run to 8.5. So we have a half run move to the over. That makes me question whether or not I think Torpedo is the one to trust, not Lopez. The Twins open up at -169. They're now -195. That tells me that Lopez is going to shove here. Bodun, respect. We look forward to capping with you, man. So, and Mikey Money moving on. Fritz at -110 live. There's razor sharp picks in the house. So take it away, Jose. Game 2, Twinkies, White Sox.
Yeah, I find it to be a difficult game. I want to move on to first 5 under here again in a White Sox first 5, truthfully. I've been on Drew Thorpe 4 of his 5 starts, actually. I just looked up on my spreadsheet because I have bet him quite a few times already this year. And it's been nice. Pablo, I agree with you. This is a lineup that he should dominate. Sure, he's not been Cy Young, amazing Pablo Lopez every start. But I still believe in the guy to be a very, very good pitcher. His last few starts, like you mentioned, 6 earned runs against the Astros. I think that's just a good bounce back opportunity. Interestingly enough, as I look at his game logs and you just look at his home splits, he has pitched a little worse at home. 5.74 ERA comes through a 4.67. So that might give you a little bit of confidence there, but I still believe in the guy as a great pitcher in this league. He has faced the White Sox once already this year as well. 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks, out of a home run there at home as well. So I expect him to have a bounce back and avenge that start here as well. I just need to have the gall because, like you mentioned, this total's going up. 97 and 95% of the money on the over, unsurprisingly. And first 5 wise, this went up 10 cents. And then full game, it's going up to 8.5 here. So it's definitely a worry. But I don't know. I've just kind of, like I said, I've gone back and forth on trusting both these guys to hold them down here or just taking another first 5 here. Now, I just looked at the first 5 line specifically here. It's kind of tough to decipher because this is obviously a doubleheader game and, pitching changes and lines change because of them. I think this line opened up at -160, you could say. And then at 10:26, it went up to 75. And then at 11:38, it went up to 184 for first 5 here. So this just might be a case where I have to watch the first game and see what happens and then move on game 2. But I agree with, most people saying I didn't think there were going to be many runs in either game of this doubleheader.
JP's loving this move on Fritz and Mikey Money's talking about. I agree that this is the books are clearly uncomfortable with the Twins in game 2. In saying that, the Twins have not seen Torpedo's change up, and it's baffling. And I'm interested in going back to the well first 3 under 2.5. I think the books are telling us that Lopez is going to look good. Now, maybe Thorpe can't get through this the way Twins are hitting righties. For this one, I want to see if I cash my first 3 under 2.5 in the Twins White Sox, and I might just carry that over.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. By the way, I just moved on Taylor Fritz with you, Mikey, here. I'm getting -130 now, unfortunately, because I'm a slow fucker, but I'm on there with you.
We have a 53-45 Liberty with 3:50 left in the third quarter. After that 48-point first quarter, there was a 29-point second quarter that put us in business. Right now, we have 18 points of comfort zone. but that would be swallowed up in overtime. So as much as we want to see Brizzy cash the plus 8.5, which I was beating myself up for not moving on. Right now it's plus 7.5. I can move on, but I'm not going to mess with what I deem is profit. The Mystics are up 5 in the first quarter.
Scott's moving.
But that was put on a silver platter from Justin McKelvey. It sounded right. It made sense to me. I said, I don't cap WNBA, but how could the FIFA are going to be feeling themselves? I should have backed the plan, and I'm a little frustrated that I didn't. Von Polo said, I was thinking about you, Von Polo, at that game last night. Went to Baltimore game last night to see a blowout. Says, feel like I lost 20 pounds sweating so much.
True.
And we have your grandma is wearing your sister's panties again. Play of the day. It is in. Your grandma wearing your sister's panties. Play of the day is in. And it is game 1, first 5 under 4.5, and White Sox game 2 money line. Wow. So he thinks Pablo Lopez is vulnerable. Justin McKelvey gave me that missed, and it correlated with the way I saw it. It's just, God, it's just, I hate leaving money on the table when someone gifts you. That's okay. Sorry. Why don't you write that out again, Mikey? If you don't mind, could you write that out again? So sorry, that's game 2. So that's first 5 money line in game 2. Okay, sorry. So game 1, first 5 under 4.5. Game 2, first 5 money line. There we go. At plus 315. So that is in. Okay, so I expect now with the market moving towards Lopez. I mean, let me just ask you quickly. What do you think is directing the market more? The idea that Lopez is going to have a good start, or that Torpedo is going to get touched? Because it has moved from 8 to 8.5.
I would think that is Torpedo more than Pablo.
The Twinkies haven't seen this change up, man. Am I falling in love with this kid too much, man?
I mean, he's just young. That's the issue. You don't know what you're going to get with a young pitcher every day.
Now, it was the Marlins that he shut down completely, so it's not saying much. But
yeah, I mean, I backed him 4 of his 5 starts, 5 of his 6 starts. I don't remember every start but one. So I'm right there with you. But
I love him.
I'm just worried that this is a good lineup, and they might take advantage of a youth.
Troy says, I think it's fatigue and bullpens. No, that's fair. Okay, let's roll on. Next up, so those are the double dips. Got the double dips out of the way.
Yep. Are you going to join us, Jimmy, with Taylor Fritz? You going to get some Fritzy action?
No, I don't. I can't. I've got this live. I'm focusing on this WNBA live betting.
Okay, well, if you guys see me pumping my fist at some point, it's because
it's not that I don't believe in it. It's just that.
Oh, no, I understand. Yeah, of course. But, if you see me pumping my fist randomly at some point, it's because Taylor Fritz needs to get his shit together or something. So, that's right, Mikey.
The Mystics are up 9 after first quarter. Nothing is more frustrating to me than, and I put it, I said to you guys, I was like, if this was NBA, I would be fading whatever basketball team, delivered against the Liberty at home and feeling so good about themselves. McKelvey's on it and I don't move on it. It makes me want to smash something. I start sweating and I'm filled with.
Is this worse than forgetting to put in your action?
No, but it's close.
He said that he's capping WNBA for the first time, and he's doing the same thing he's doing in the NBA as the WNBA. So not bad. Not bad there, Justin. I see you. Benjamin, I turned it on for like 2 seconds, and I've seen nothing but horrible things from Taylor, so I'm a little worried. But let's go.
TJ says Thorpe has a 182 BABIP. TJ, yeah, I that means you're lucky, but also means that nobody can get a read on the changeup. Nobody. So he's not getting barreled. Can you give me its barrel numbers? What's his barrel rate?
I'm curious. I'm looking up to see what he's done, what people have specifically done against his changeup this year. Just out of curiosity for me. By the way, barrel rate so far, wow. He's 438 pitches, 78 batted balls, three barrels.
That's why he's 182 BABIP, wouldn't you say, TJ?
That is nuts. Let's see here. By the way, batting average against his changeup, 132. 43 plate appearances, 5 hits, excuse me. Very interesting. And that's obviously his put away pitch, 21% of the
TJ says unsustainable. Absolutely. Once a team has seen it. Twins haven't seen it. Look, and I'm not saying you're wrong, TJ, and it's important stuff. And Justin McKelvey says, worst part about Cabin WA is actually having to watch it. I told you, one of my very first unders in WNBA game, I got kicked out of the bar. And
I could see why.
But I wasn't acting any different than I would normally act.
I know. That's why I said I can see why.
But they took offense. They thought I was like, I don't know. They kicked me out of the bar.
Slandering women's basketball.
But I was just cheering for bricks and getting paid. That's all. Okay, let's get back to work here. TJ said, I'm not saying it happens in this one because it's a great spot for him. I hope he shoves and I'll be fading hard next start. For the record, I have no action on it. No, respect, man. Respect. Okay. Mikey Money says Corbin Burns 12-1 to the over as a in-division home favorite between -115 and -275. That's wild. Let's get to work
range
here. Chicago Cubs 43-49, 18-28 on the road. The Baltimore Orioles 57-34, 29-18 at home. It's hard to believe the Cubs are 43-49 with, Hap hitting the way he is.
Billy's not here, but I'll say it for him. The last place Chicago Cubs, right? I'm assuming they're still last.
Craig Counsell.
What an ass clown he looks like. Good fucking God. He leaves the fucking Brewers and the Brewers are now the best team in their division and his team's floundering. It's very funny to me.
Yeah, I don't think it. I mean, I get it. Why, you want to suck Bud Selig's dick? I mean, I think it's good to be.
Is he still alive?
Get to Wrigley. Get to Wrigley. Okay. Shout out to Sean Pulliam in the house. Okay, let's go. Cubs, Orioles, Camden Yards, and Baltimore, Maryland. Shota Imanaga up against Corbin Burns. Imanaga 7-2, 3.16 ERA, 1.11 WHIP, 12 home runs allowed. Obviously, he's looked a little more susceptible of late. And Troy Torrance says, I think the Cubs are going to see some favorable regression. Don't sleep. The cup is half full. For these Chicago
I respect it because Troy talks about the Cubs so much. If I didn't look at the standings, I would assume that the Cubs are in the thick of this playoff race, like second place, third place, like right there, and just have a shitty bullpen the way Troy talks about the Cubs. I love it.
On the road, Shota has been a little better than he's been at home, but the fact of the matter is tape is out on him and he's more susceptible. He's back to being a above average pitcher.
Can I give you a stat real quick about that?
Please do.
So the Orioles, they're going up against Shota, obviously, and I retweeted this morning. No team in baseball has hit more home runs against four-seam fastballs from left-handed pitchers this year than the Baltimore Orioles. 19. Imanaga has allowed 6 home runs off his four-seam fastball over his last 7 starts after only allowing 2 through his first 9 starts. This is tough.
I'm trying to not feel the rage that I have right now watching the Mystics deliver. Shout out to our guy, Ick Schnizzle, star of the live sweat over at Who Bangin', rolling with us right now. Shout out to the land and to our guy, Icky E. Woods in the house. Let's go to Corbin Burns, 9-3, 2.32 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 105 Ks over 112 2/3. His last start, he allowed 2 earned runs over 6 innings. And 7-3 loss to the Mariners. At home, he's been spectacular. 5-1, 1.78 ERA, 236 opponents batting average. He's allowed 5 jacks over 60 2/3. And the Cubs aren't hitting righties. 235, 697 OPS. Orioles versus lefties are starting to hit them again. 251, 744 OPS. The dumbest thing I've done this year is faded the Orioles. I've done it. My ROI is horrific doing it. And I'd like to not do that. 3.31 ERA, 1.29 WHIP for the Cubs. Orioles 3.91 ERA, 1.17 WHIP. We were on the under. And there was a huge 15-cent move towards the over in the last 2 hours or so leading up to first pitch. And it was clear from the get-go that we were in a grave danger.
Which
Right.
game? The Reds
In that
game yesterday?
Cubbies Orioles, one of my losses
Oh.
yesterday. The Orioles have gone from minus 160 to minus 177. Look, that makes sense to me, but I was confused why there was no move up until this morning. I mean, we're talking like 9 in the morning and there'd been 5 cents of movement. Now there's been 17 cents of movement. That makes sense to me. Again, 17 cents of movement. This total sitting at 9. This opened up at 8. So we have the full run move to the over. It is juiced to the under. And okay, Troy, my man. And then from a cash flow perspective here, we have 94% of tickets, 96% of cash on the over. And then you have 16% of tickets and 31% of cash on the Cubs. Seems like sort of sharp action on them. I wanted the Orioles. I couldn't quite get there. Maybe I should get there. Morgan Spooner says Shota Minaga throws 55% of his pitches as 91-mile-per-hour fastballs and is allowing a 40% hard hit rate with one of the highest fly ball percentages in the league. Take it away for us here, Jose. Cubbies, Orioles.
Yeah, fun game. Sort of the pitching matchup of the day. But yeah, I kind of figured this was going to happen to Shota and the Japanese pitchers there. First time through the league, they're going to dominate. They're going to pitch well. No one knows what to expect. Second time through, it's going to get worse. And as they keep going through, it's going to get worse and worse. And Shota, led MPB, I think it is the league, MPB in home runs last year. So I think that he does get touched up here. Is going to be the issue is I just don't know how to bet it, really. I want to take a team total, but I have Orioles team total at 4.5 minus 130. 2.5 first 5. I definitely don't hate. But I think I might just take both the Orioles first 5 team total over 2.5 and the full game over 9 here. I actually have a message from Matty Ice here as well. And I'm the conduit for Matty Ice at this point because his live chat's not working for whatever reason. Mikey's stat about Burns in the over, paired with heavy winds blowing out, paired with the home plate umpire. It's 4-1 to the over. And this, in his opinion, this is a gambler's first glance over, in my opinion. I think I'll just take both over in this game. Think that Shota's vulnerable, and a first 5 team total over for the Baltimore Orioles, 2.5 plus 110.
What do you think about Hunter Engelhart? The Orioles have never seen Shota Minaga, obviously.
I think that it's more about having just tape on him here in general, because now they know how he attacks major league hitters. And, it's going to be a concern. Could I imagine the first time through the order him pitching well? Yeah, and that'd be shitty for my first time. Or my first 5 team total. But I just think the Orioles against lefties is going to be an advantage for us. No matter if it was, Tariq Skubal or who else, I'd still believe in this Orioles lineup against most any lefty.
Justin McKelvey just live bet the Fever plus 128. I got plus 3.5 minus 115 and plus 155 on the money line. The breakdowns of these 2:12 p.m. games were beautiful with the Dream and with the Mystics. Just filled with rage. Okay, let's roll on here. Hunter Engelhart on first 3 under, and the Cubs first 3 plus a half. Says could see Belly going yard first pitch against Burns. I think that that total going over is a real sharp move. The question that's being posed in the chat is, are you off these full run moves betting the other side?
It was only full run move down is the issue.
That's fair.
So yeah, I don't have the stats for the full round move ups. But full run move down, I will still be betting the overs, yes.
Certainly a surprise in volatility here.
Yeah, I think Matty Ice is, the wind also helps. Shota struggles against lefties. Obviously it's kind of surprising with Corbin Burns on the other side, but I don't know. I just think that he gets touched up here specifically, I guess.
Lee Davis does like the under 9. Shout out to my guy Lee Davis. We also have UPK Ayash Yala, our friend Robert Cherry in the house. He's got England correct score 2-1. Both teams to score and draw no bet. And Uruguay Colombia correct score 2-1 and draw no bet for UPK Ayash. And shout out to our guy Nunya business in the house. Let's move on. 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Cleveland Guardians 57-33, 27-22 on the road to Detroit Tigers 43-49, 20-23 at Homework America Park in Detroit, Michigan. Let's get into the weather here. I don't know if we talked about the weather in Baltimore, but we didn't. Sorry. Let's just flip back just for a second. It's 93 Fahrenheit. It feels like 102, and it's 17 miles per hour out to left field. So the wind
weather.
obviously pushing people towards the over, and it's probably right. We've also talked about, in the past, these Japanese pitchers sort of crumbling in the hot temperatures. We'll see if that happens here. I mean, I don't even want a white guy in these temperatures either. You'd want to,
get our Venezuelan brothers out there.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Employ more Venezuelans.
All right, let's roll. So Guardians Tigers next up. We have Tanner Bybee, who got me last Friday. 4-2 loss at home versus the Giants. I was on the Guardians.
Where did he get you?
Right in the heart of the khakis, Jose. Bybee 7-3, 3.67 ERA, 1.12 WHIP. He's 115 Ks in 98 innings. He's been very good this year, but he took money out of my pocket last start. On the road, he's been spectacular. He's been very good. 4-1, 2.70 ERA, 56 Ks over 50 innings, allowed 7 home runs with a 216 opponent's batting average. Reese Olson's my guy. I really like Reese. Coming off a strong start at the Reds. That's not an easy place to pitch. At home, 2-4 with a 3.32 ERA, 38 Ks over 43 in the third. He's only allowed 1 home run at home all season long. That's over 43 in the third innings. 247 opponents batting average. Guardians versus righties 260, 757 OPS. Tigers just 219, 652. And the Guardians bullpen 2.71 ERA, 1.10 WHIP, while the Tigers bullpen 4.15 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. So let's get into this one. We just talked about the very, very hot weather in Baltimore. In Detroit, it's not hot at all. It's not hot up here either. 66 Fahrenheit, but it is 16 miles per hour to left center. Stays around 16 for the entirety of the baseball game. You have 98% of tickets and 94% of cash on the over, and 75 and 73 on the Guardians. So a lot of money on the over, a lot of money on the Guardians. This total is at 7.5. And it opened up at 8. It dropped 7.5 back to 8, dropped 7.5 back to 8. We're back at 7.5 right now, and it's only slightly juiced to the over, implying that both Bybee and Olson will deliver here. From a side standpoint, the Tigers are plus 129, which is exactly where they opened. So there's been no movement towards Bybee. There's a ton of cash on the over. Schnizzle leaning to the Guardians here, says Bybee pretty good on the road and expect to bounce back after last start. And Olson hasn't won much at home. TJ says both of these guys not only have great surface stats, the metrics I care about all indicate they're even better than those surface numbers. Only issue for Bybee is the high fastball rate. Got to lean Detroit with the wind. Jermaine Connolly liking the over in this one. Take it away for us, Jose Bouquett. Guardians, Tigers, Bybee, and Olson.
Yeah, I'll take the under here. Under 7.5, minus 110 official for me here. Just all year it's felt like Reese Olson's pitched really well and just got no offensive support. I expect the same here. I trust the Guardians bullpen. Tigers bullpen scares me a little bit, but they've been pretty average since the 15th to today here. I'll tell you right now, 4.75 ERA, 4.26 FIP though, and a 3.77 xFIP, 0 WAR, 20th in the league. I just think they are, good enough to get me through here. So under here for me, and shout out to Sports Money dropping a Nerfy here as well. I don't hate that in this game as well, but I will say that I do like the under full game, and I'm on it. Jimmy, I do have your complete rotation now after just listening to you for a little bit. These 5 guys are your guys so far. Alec Marsh, of course.
Got to cut
Slade
Marsh.
Ciccone.
I got to cut Marsh.
Yeah, you got to cut a couple of these guys in your rotation, Jimmy.
Slade Ciccone, I got to cut too. Slade Ciccone.
Griffin Canning.
Griffin Canning, after the horrific things TJ said about him, probably needs to be cut.
Patrick Corbin.
Corbin did everything I asked of him on Friday. Every fucking thing I asked of him. He did everything. Now he's going up against the best team against lefties in the league today. I don't know how anyone could back this motherfucker. This guy's taking so much money out of our families. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then obviously ends it with Reese Olson.
I want all of those guys cut, except for Reese Olson.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? Sports Money is right. Kevin Gossman should be at the top of your rotation. There.
He is, and what he did against Seattle, changing his mechanics. I don't want to bet Mikey, but we would take the vig out of the way. I thought about it often, but Gossman's bet on with this mechanics change back to the 2021 mechanics. He looked great against Seattle.
I'll be on him. I'll be on him. I have to kill a cockroach real quick. I'll be right back.
Go get it. Shout out to our guy Millsy. Shout out to our guy Millsy, who gave us Reese Hines home run at plus 350 yesterday. What a monster start to the season Reese Hines has had. And again, shout out to the Locker Room podcast. We've been talking about it throughout the show. We had Brizzy on off the hop. So check it out. Our big UFC show. It's up right now. It's our main video. So Jose is on the under 7.5. We'll get the exact plan for it. And then my question is, so just the under 7.5 for you, Jose?
Yep, minus 110.
Under 7.5 at minus 110. And I think for me, it'd be that first 5 under 4. They're certainly giving us the idea that Bybee and Olsen shove. Should that be also a first 3 under 2.5 and the first 5 under 4? I do not want to double up on the spot. So I'm just going to write that no double up just in case I get a little frisky. All right.
Agreed.
Let's roll on.
Us Taylor Fritz bettors, we're in a bad place right now. The Italian just took the set, so we need some big action here from Fritzy.
Speaking of big action, let's bring on our next guest coming to us from Dallas, Texas, the star of Medicaid Mondays every Monday right here on Pub Sports Radio. Please welcome Mr. Dabra Kadabra to the show. Dabby, how are you?
Well, I'm good, man. I'm good. I was going to tell Jose, Ski never had roaches until you moved in, bro.
Yeah, I bring them. They just come with me.
Okay, let's go. Let's get to work. Daby Cab, best bet right here. Let's roll. We begin with the weather at Petco in San Diego. Sorry, where the hell is it? We begin with the weather. It is 74 Fahrenheit, warmer than usual in San Diego. We have an earlier start. 7.3 miles per hour, left to right, slightly out. Get into the line history here for this one. I have the first 5 up, so we'll talk about it. I came very close to moving on this game a couple times. This opened up at 4.5, wasn't a real 4.5. It was basically a 4 juiced to the over or 4.5 heavily juiced to the under. But now we have a somewhat legitimate 4 minus 118 to the over. This was a completely legitimate one at 818 this morning. But now it's juiced to the over again. Let's see what it is full game here in this Padres spot. We're sitting at a 7.5. It opened up at 7.5 and it moved to 8. It moved to 8 at 9:48 last night, came back to 7.5 at 1 in the morning, and it stayed there. So we have 2 cents of movement to the full game over and a slight move towards the first 5 under. But for me, the thought process was based on backing Michael King, who's been quite good lately. But the market also really does indicate when Michael King's going to shove, and opening up at minus 130 now at minus 136. I don't know if that's enough. And that's what I've been dealing with the whole time. It's always been about a 6 cents of movement. Nothing has changed in that regard. And when we get to the cash flow, 98% of tickets, 97% cash on the over. And then 76% of tickets and 89% cash on the Padres. That's a lot of money on the Padres for the line not to really be moving. Bryce Miller, 6 and 7, 3.84 ERA, 1.08 WHIP. In his last start, 5 2/3, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, 1 walk, and 7-3 win at home over the Orioles. But that was at home. On the road, he gets lit up and smoked. 2 and 4, 6.28 ERA, only 26 strikeouts in 43 innings, 13 walks in those 43 innings, 11 home runs allowed in those 43 innings with a 251 opponent's batting average. Michael Kingsby rolling. Coming off that 3-1 win at the Rangers, he outpitched Scherzer in Texas. but he struggled at home. 1-3, 4.64 ERA, 235 points batting average. The splits got me off of this. Mariners, again, aren't hitting righties, 217, 689 OPS. Nothing new there. Padres versus righties, 271, 777 OPS. They're raking. Mariners bullpen is 1.26 runs better over 9 innings than the Padres bullpen since June 1st. Daby Cab, take it away. Shout out to Dust10. Daby Cab, take it away.
Yeah.
Floor is yours.
You touched on it with King. I don't know what it is at home. He's a knuckleballer. I don't
That's
know.
Waldron.
I just said knuckleballer. I didn't mean to say that. That's why I paused for a second. I didn't mean to say
We got you.
He's a he's a guy though that I guess he's flattening out at home. It's something to do with just the atmosphere in San Diego. And then you look on the other side with Miller. This is 19th start of the season. He's been good, but he's that young kid out of A&M. This is just his second season here. And he's getting kind of deep right now. He's at 103 innings. He threw 131 last year, but Miller's kind of started to flounder of late. I know it's just 3 starts, but in his last 3 starts, it's really shown through. He's 0-2 with the 6.14 ERA, a 1.5 whip, 15 strikeouts, and that's over 14 2/3 innings of work. And I just think this is a tough spot for him right here. I think it's going to be tough for him to finish this season. We kind of saw him fall off towards the end of last year also. And the Padres, one thing the Padres I do trust them to do is hit right-handers. It's what I've been on the whole year with them. When I'm on the Padres team total, it's against right-handers. 272 on the season against right-handers. And this is an interesting game, man. Both these teams are in that situation where they're playoff teams right now, right? Season ended right now, they're playoff teams. But we're not even, at the All-Star game. And both of these teams could blink their eyes and be out of the playoffs. Both of them could. Seattle, we're hoping that happens with Houston chasing them with our futures. And then the Padres, right now in the second wild card spot, could easily fall out of it. They don't have Darvish. They don't have Musgrove. And he's on the 60-day IL, I think. So they're not healthy. So both these teams, this is an important game is what I'm getting at. And I trust the Padres to hit Miller here. I think Miller is floundering. So I got the Padres team total over 3.5.
Padres team total over 3.5 minus 130 being tweeted out by our man Daby Cab. Jose, your thoughts on Mariners Padres at Petco?
Yeah, I think I'll stay off this game. I was on the Padres yesterday. They didn't nary a run essentially. So Bryce Miller's good. I lean under, but I do like the Padres team total here with you, Daby Cab. So I've got no action. I'll keep it short and sweet. And I trust my guy, Daby Cab.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very low total, which is a surprise with what Miller's been doing. I'm very surprised by it. Even this 7.5 is a surprise here. So Jose, you're joining Cab?
No, I'm off. I just have faith in the guy. And if I had to make any play, it would be that one, but no action.
So why are you not on it? What would be what's holding you back?
It just seems like the the Mariners always play low-scoring games. I think Bryce Miller is good enough to hold down a good offense still, and the Padres bullpen not used up enough for me to believe that they can get effectively enough here. Like Munoz hasn't thrown since Sunday, so I expect him to throw. And Miller's a good pitcher. I respect him enough not to just fade him. But like I said, if I had to make one play, it would be team total.
Did you come close, Cab, to a Padres -1 or anything of that nature?
Yeah, I like the Padres in this spot. I also like the first 5 over because you touched on King's numbers at home. The only reason I didn't bet the Padres as a side was because of how he's kind of given it up at the home ballpark here at Petco. So I didn't bet it just because of that. But yeah, I like the Padres as a side. If I'm on their team total, I like them as a side too.
Huh. Okay. And by the way, TJ, his phone's been going off for a severe tornado warning. TJ, about 5-hour drive south east of me. And but he says the show is more important. I'll take my chances. Respect, respect, TJ. I'm going to need to sit with this a little longer here, but I'm interested. I'm interested in where you're at. I'm going to sit with it a little longer. And the Sun are now leading. Connecticut Sun now leading 66-65, just hit a 3. The total's at 147.5, and we got in at 168.5, but we still do not want this to go to the extra session. But that move by Brizzy, beautiful move here. Yes, BJ, the market on this game, once again, 98% of the tickets, 97% of cash on the over. 76% of tickets and 89% of cash on the Padres. That is the situation here. Okay, let's roll on. Shout out to J Dub in the house. What's happening? And Nutflush Allen says, did you guys move on the early games? And BJ's best bets, Cardinals game 1. Morgan Spooner's on Cardinals -1 game 1. But we did not move on either the Royals or Cardinals games. I have not bet this yet. Oh, yes, I have. Thank God. Okay, yes, I have. Sorry, I bet the 210-1. First 3 under 2.5 in the Ober Fetty start. Jose's on the White Sox first 5+1/2 in the full game under 8. I'm just on the first 3 under 2.5 -130. And I'm also interested in the first 3 under 2.5 in game 2. Mikey Money, your grandma wearing your sister's panties again, play today's White Sox first 5 game 1 under 4.5. And game 2, White Sox first 5 money line. That's at +315. So let's.
You scared me there, Jimmy. I thought you didn't put another bet in, and you scared me.
No. My anger is just not being on the Mystics first half, which McKelvey put on a silver platter for us, and I am concerned that this WNBA game goes into the extra session. So let's. So Daby Cab has moved on the Padres team total over 3.5 at -130, and he will be back with us for 2 late games. He's on Marlins Astros, and he's on Rangers Angels. So Daby Cab has made his move. Daby, we will see you again very shortly, and thank you for rocking with us, my man. Okay, let's roll. Next up for us. Now, this was a slam dunk spot for me. I follow Marcus Stroman very closely. I faded him with a ton of confidence last start, and he's not pitching well. Now, it was an important start last out. At the Trop, it's not that important. But Stroman is not pitching well right now, and he's emoting on the mound. We talked about Carlos Rodon doing the same thing. We faded him. We cashed the team total over in the first inning and cashed the first 5. I knew that I wanted Eflin in his next home start after he got touched up on the road at the Royals. At home, Eflin's 3-1 with a 2.43 ERA, 233 opponent's batting average. He's walked 3 batters in 37 innings at home. And it was just perfect that he was facing Stroman. Now, Stroman's been really good on the road. Don't get me wrong, but the last 4 starts or so, he's not been very good. We have a 1-point lead for the Liberty with 3:21 left. So I just do not want this game to go to extra session.
Yeah, let's get a regulation win for Justin McKelvey on the Liberty.
It's okay. Lee Davis says Eflin owns the Stankies. I got the Rays first 5 at -110 at 365 last night. It was -116 at the time at Pinnacle. And it stayed there. It was staying at -110. Now it moved to -120 by this morning. But I'm on the Rays first 5 -110 with confidence. I'm challenging Stro Show, and I'm doing it very comfortably. Now the Rays are still not hitting righties, 222, 674 OPS, but the Yankees 238, 741 OPS. Again, you just have to get through that first inning. Let's take a look at the line. This total is at 8.5. It opened up at 8, and it didn't move to 8.5 until 15 minutes ago. Pinnacle's the first book to move it to 8.5. On the money line, we are sitting here with the Rays at -119. They opened up at -104. 15 cents of movement to the Rays. I think this is probably the best bet. So T Gray, it's his birthday. I'd be leaning towards this being my best bet. Now it's better at -110 than what it is now. But let's get into the cash flow here to see if I get even more confidence. We have 42% of tickets and 82% of cash on the Yankees. 82% of cash on the Yankees line moving, pretty briskly towards the Rays. 96% of tickets, 97% cash on the over. We've seen it move to 8 from 8 to 8.5. So here we go. we have the Rays, Yankees. Take it away, Jose. I'm on the Rays first 5 -110.
Yeah, I mean, let's just keep playing the Yankees here. Rays full game -115 for me. Agree wholeheartedly. They're in a tailspin. When are they going to stop? I don't know, but it's funny to watch. Like it's just so funny to me. They kept Aaron Boone and they started off so strong, and now that they've had the first kind of inklings of any kind of adversity, they're just falling like a rock. So Rays for me, full game -115. Let's ride.
We ride together. Hunter says, I thought so too, but Stroman's career numbers and domes and at the Trop are respectable. I can see him having get right spot. He could, but I will challenge him and bet against him.
Yeah, I looked at his numbers. His last start against the Rays, 9 innings, 1 hit ball against the Cubs last year. So that was a little concerning.
It's not
Definitely
concerning. It's not concerning.
But you're the Stroman whisperer. You've got the heartbeat. You just throw on the mix and you're ready to go.
Strosho is not handling the pressure.
Yeah.
We roll on. And we bring on our next guest for Dodgers, Phillies, dealing with a severe tornado, but no fear.
His camera was just shaking. I thought we were about to witness him just fucking fly away right there.
Well, he is rolling. I don't know if that will be a T Gray for your birthday, but I at this point, I think it's my favorite spot on the board. But I want to finish off the card before that's official. And a Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day. You're right. Let's get back to that, Ron. Sorry, I don't have everything under the games. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play day is the Yankees at +109. Is the Yankees +109. Good call. Thank you, Justin McKelvey. So before we bring on our next one, our next guest, let's shout out Ron Crawford. The spreadsheet dog play today has been absolutely spectacular. 24-16 +15.48 units. Shout out to our friend Ronnie. So let's roll. Please welcome your next guest, currently at 62.5% on the season. 48 bets. He's up 10.9 units. ROI +22.71%. Average line -109. He's 30-18, and he started 4-9 on our show. That's how dominant he's been. 26-9 since then. Please welcome upstate New York in the eye of the tornado, our friend TJ in the house. TJ, what's good, man?
I was just trying to survive. They actually just sounded the siren and announced something. So,
well, TJ, can you give us a timeout and refresh your browser real quick?
Yeah, we got to refresh that browser. Let's get TJ refreshed.
You've got
here.
Billy Mike going right now.
Get the audio right. We need the audio right from him. But we can easily set up the best bet for him. We can set up. Oh, and look at this. The Panty Gobbler Lobster Claw Puffy Taco play of the day. Alvarez over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Astros money line and Seager over 1.5 total bases. He put 100 on. It's not official for show bets, but Daby Cab has moved. Let's hear you, TJ. You back in business?
I hope so. Can you hear me
now? Keep going.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's still a bit of.
Try unplugging and replugging your mic there, TJ. And
yeah,
maybe that'll help.
It's
the same thing that Billy was doing. But I do know a thing or two about those tornado sirens living in Oklahoma for a year. They're just recommendations. You're fine. You'll be great. What could possibly go wrong? So it'll be fun.
All right. There's 26, 25, 24 seconds left. Connecticut Sun trying to win the game they've missed. Let's get a liberty to get the ball. It'll be fouled, and it'll come down to whether the Sun hit a 3 to ruin everything for us.
Okay, while he's watching that, did that work, or should I leave and come back?
That did not work. We got to get you straight. Okay.
Yeah, we'll try the old restart the computer next. But yeah.
Did they really wait until 4 seconds left? What could the Sun possibly be thinking? Why don't you foul immediately? All right, we have a timeout. If the Sun hit the 3, it's a very sweaty end to our live bet. But UPK Ayash, the Hawk 2 play of the day is Ohtani Homer and Judge Homer. 26 to 1 UPK. 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 26 to 1 UP let's set up this spot for TJ. LA Dodgers 55-37, 27-18 on the road. The Philadelphia Phillies 59-32, 34-14 at home at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have Gavin Stone going up against Christopher Sanchez. This could be the best bet, T. Gray, honestly. I love Sanchez in this bounce back opportunity at home. Yes, the Dodgers hit lefties hard, 276, 879 OPS, but we've seen Christopher Sanchez shut down teams that hit lefties hard at home. We've seen it already this year. Let's get TJ back in business and see if he's good to go here. TJ, let's hear you.
Okay, if that didn't work, I don't know.
There we go. We're in business. We are in business. Gavin Stone, 9-2, 3.03 ERA, 1.20 whip, 73 Ks, 28 walks, 7 homers. Look, he's been excellent, but we watched him get lit up and smoked after that complete game. So he has a complete game shutout against the White Sox, allows 4 hits. Again, fading the complete game shutouts, 3 for 3 in the last week and a half. Although I didn't fade Estes, but if you had, you'd be 3 for 3. I went 2 for 2. I didn't fade Estes, and I should have. That bothered me so much not being on the over in that one. In his last start, he got touched, 4 runs over 3 innings. On the road, he's been very good all year. 6-1, 2.30 ERA. He's only allowed 2 home runs over 43 innings, 203 opponents batting average. Chris Sanchez just got lit up and smoked. We faded him. We were on the Cubs' first 5. He got lit up for 7 runs over 4 innings. That was after his complete game shutouts and back-to-back performances of not allowing a run. Sorry. Nice job, Von Polos. It's over, right? It says 0 seconds left. Shot missed. We cash our live bet. Brizzy cashed his. Oh, wait. No, they got the ball back. Come on, just say game over. End of match. Okay. Good thing. I should have got more. Should have been on the Sun with Brizzy. Should have been on the Mystics first half. But, a win's a win. I'm still just fucking livid. Okay, Dodgers bullpen 3.64 ERA, 1.18 whip since June 1st, while the Phillies are 2.70 ERA, 1.00 whip since June 1st. Let's get into the line history and the weather, and here, best bet number 1 from our guy TJ, hitting at 62.5% on the season. We have 88 Fahrenheit, 15.7 miles per hour out to left field, dies down to 13.4 miles per hour. Just like in Charm City, the wind is blowing out heavy. The Phillies are minus 137 right now. They opened up at minus 123. That's 14 cents of movement towards the Philadelphia Phillies. And on the total's at 9.5, minus 104 to the under. It opened up at 9, so we've gone up a half run. One thing that's been happening at Bet365, I tell you guys that I want to see the first 5 be more expensive than the full game. But I've been noticing that Bet365 is making mistakes with their market moves. They move the full game before they move the first 5. It's as if they don't do it in unison. So when the Phillies were minus 125 first 5 and minus 140 full game, early last night, I said, I'm going to take advantage of it. I think this is a mistake. I think that the full game is moving while the first 5 isn't, and it's about to. And right now, for the first 5, which was minus 125 on the Phillies, is now just minus 135. So it's not moved that much. So here we go. Cash wise, for this spot, we have 93% of the tickets and 89% of cash on the over lines moved to the over. And just like yesterday, 22% of tickets, 76% of cash on the Dodgers. Bigger bets coming in on the Dodgers. Perceived sharp action on the Dodgers, but the books don't perceive it as sharp action because the line keeps moving towards the Phillies. This got me off of the Phillies yesterday, and it's not going to get me off the Phillies today. But TJ may make me uncomfortable or will build my confidence. Take it away, TJ. The floor is yours. Dodgers, Phillies.
Yeah, no, I'm going to build your confidence here. Just like yesterday. I just don't think when this opened, I got it 121. I hit it 121, 124, and 126. At a few different books, because it's going to close somewhere around 140, and that's the Harper Schwarber. You're getting 2 of the best left-handed bats. Maybe Schwarber's not the best, but power-wise in the league that are returning. So you got to take these stats on the Phillies stats here out of the equation offensively, because it's a different team with these guys in here. Excuse me. The Dodgers haven't seen a lefty starter since Crochet on the 24th. He shut him out. And I'm not saying that Sanchez is Crochet, but if you look at his home numbers here, full season 1.35 ERA, 0.9 whip, You break that down to last 6 starts, it's a 105 ERA and a .79 WHIP, and it gets even better in his last 3. And there's some decent teams in there versus left-handers that he's shutting down. He also steps up to his competition against top 10 lineups. He's got a 1.45 ERA and a 0.96 WHIP. He actually plays down a little bit to a weaker competition. And then he shuts down lefties. And who do you want to shut down in that Dodger lineup? You want to shut down Shohei and Freddie Freeman. Yeah, they got a lot of righties, but if you can hold those guys down, you're not going to get in too much trouble. You look at what Philly's been, like I said, you got to throw out what they've done offensively lately. Stone faced the Phillies last year. I don't put a lot of stock into that, but they did get to him for 8 hits and 4 runs. He's coming off getting hit around by Arizona a little bit, and he was solid before that. But this is a big step up in competition, and against top 10 lineups, he's actually done a lot worse. The Phillies bullpen is, from the indicators, especially xFIP is what I care about for bullpens. They're number 1 last 14, last 30 full season. Dodgers are just bottom of the league now in the last month and the last 2 weeks. And then you look at Gavin Stone's pitch mix, four-seam fastball, sinker, slider, cutter make up 75% of his pitches, and the Phillies are the 3rd best team in baseball against those pitches. They're going to throw out definitely 5 lefties. Sometimes they throw out 6 or 7 against righties, and Stone's getting hit around by lefties. Excellent against righties, but his whip goes up by almost a half point versus lefties. Look at the barrel rate for Sanchez, 1.4%. We were talking about Thorpe at 3.8. The barrel rate on Sanchez, and he's done it all season, 1.4%. He only gives up 11% fly balls. So that wind blowing out, I mean, he's got a 63% ground ball rate. That wind blowing out isn't going to hurt him too much. Whereas, Stone, I'm a little bit more concerned about. So I think all things added together, I would have loved to give this out, at the opening line. But we'll take whatever it is now, whatever the best line is now on Phillies, and it's a big bet for me today.
Is this Phillies first 5 or full game?
No, full game.
Phillies.
I want the bullpen. I want the Dodgers bullpen.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. For me, it was 15 cents cheaper.
Oh yeah,
for the first 5, and that was just I couldn't pass that up, and I didn't want to double up, and now I kind of wish I did. The best line we can get you. Can we beat that minus? Yes, we can. Oh no, that's not a legit book. It's minus 138.
I may have to go hide. Yep. I'll catch you guys later.
All right.
All right.
Tornado hiding in play for TJ. We got the minus 135 on the Phillies. I wonder
what a grinder TJ is, by the way. Just come in. Oh, my house is about to get blown down. Well, here's my play. See you guys later.
I wonder if I should add Phillies full game -1. I think that, I said that the Rays for T Gray was first 5 was the best bet, but the Phillies first 5 is a better bet. But they're both juiced. I mean, maybe you take the Phillies first 5 and the Rays first 5, parlay them together, get that plus line. I'll figure that out. Jose, take it away. Dodgers, Phillies.
Yeah, shout out to Sharpie. He's the one that's put me on this bet. Christopher Sanchez over outs at home. We've talked about it a couple times. They water the infield a shitload, ground ball rates high, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, Phillies. I like the Phillies here, but I will be on Christopher Sanchez over 17.5 outs at -115. Fun fact, at Bovada, it's -115. At Bet Online, -140. So I thought that was a pretty surprising difference there. So I bet it on Bet Online, or excuse me, at Bovada, -115.
So over how many outs?
17.5 outs.
At -115.
Yep.
You are locked in. Okay, yeah. Well, don't worry. We'll hear if. Don't worry.
It'll be okay, guys.
We'll keep an eye on him. We'll keep an eye on him.
This is not Twisters.
It's not generally a huge issue up in this neck of the woods, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye. Like, I've got his contact, and don't worry. But you're right, Von Pablo. Nothing fine about it. Let's make sure he's safe. I think I add Phillies -1. I think this is just a great spot. So I'm going to add Phillies -1. I guess that's the first edition here. I don't know why I've been so pensive with these live moves in WNBA. I mean, what the Fever were +7.5. They're now +5.5. Got to feel like they're going to come back in this game against the Mystics. I'm interested to see. Now it's going to be a 12-point line. Do you think this is a move on the +7.5 for the Fever to come back in this one? Let me know.
Well,
Yeah.
you were on the other side, right? You thought the Fever were
in a bad
Portland.
spot. And I never like switching over, but just can the Mystics hold this? I don't know. Okay, J-Dub says he wants to take the A's so bad. Let's roll on. Next up for us. Now, this is where I want to get involved, but I didn't. I was going to wait. It's hard not to believe in what Kyle Freeland's doing since he came off the IL. I know that we could use our biases and say that he's vividness bias says he's trash. Recency bias says he's really good. They're both wrong. But I want to be involved. And shout out to Ron Crawford. Yankees are the play of the day. White Sox game 2 in Arizona also there for Ron Crawford. Thank you for all that you do for us, Ron, my man. So Kyle Freeland's last start, 1 earned run over 7 innings in the 4-2 win at home versus the Royals. That was on Friday, and I was on the first 5+1/2, and I lost it. I still remember the rage. But he's been very good. Last 3 starts, 19 2/3, 3 earned runs, 1 jack, 12 Ks, 4 walks. Now, who is that up against? That's against the Nationals, the White Sox, and the Royals. And the Reds are hitting .263, .716 against lefties in June 1st, and now they have Rhys Hines. So I get it. I get it. But Frankie Montas, I don't trust him. I don't think he's that good, but he's been very good at home, and they love him. 4.14 ERA, 2 home runs allowed, just 2 home runs in 37 innings at home, 265 opponents batting average, and a huge advantage for the Reds bullpen. Lee Davis talking about Rhys Hines' unreal debut. I want the Rockies' first 3 and first 5+1/2, but I want to see what the market did. I wanted to wait on this market. So let's take another look at the market. We have them full game at +155. That's what I wanted to see. There's been no movement. So that makes me feel good there. And then on the total, are we going to be dealing with a ton of volatility? And it's gone from 9 to 9.5. So yes, there's volatility. What do you expect? It's a Great American Ballpark. Let's take a look at the weather at Great American Ballpark. 79 Fahrenheit, 11.3 miles per hour right to center, right center. It dies down to 7.2 by the end of the game. And cash-wise in this one, we have 97% of the tickets and 94% of the cash on the over. And we have 90% of tickets and 87% cash on the Cincinnati Reds. Before TJ comes back, let's just have him on camera so everyone knows that he's safe, and then we're all good. TJ, all good, my man?
We're good. It got really dark and loud. Now it's calm. That's good, right? Calm?
I believe so. Okay, good. So
We're
nothing
good.
to
Sorry
worry
about
about
that.
TJ. He's good to go, back in action. Okay, thanks, TJ. We'll bring you back here in a second. We just wanted everyone to know that everything's going to be okay. So I don't see why. I don't want to double up here. That's another problem. I do not want to double up, but I'm certainly interested in the Rockies early. Take it away, Jose. Rockies, Reds.
Yeah, I like the Rockies here. I agree with you. I'm going to take them first 5 here as well. I'm going to take them first 5 money line. It's +150, and +0.5 is even money as well, which I also like here. But you're right. Kyle Freeland's been pitching well. And we should just ride these guys, especially coming off an injury. They're fresh. They're just ready to go. And you ride them while you can. This is his 3rd start, I believe, Jimmy. 4th start, 3rd start now. Yeah, 3rd start coming off the IL. Maybe once we get into 5, 6, 7, I'll be a little more worried about him. The Reds not hitting against lefties again in the last split from the 15th to today here. Let me update this quick. And I believe they're 88. Yeah, 88 weighted runs created plus against lefties. Rockies slightly better. But I do like the Rockies here to come through here. So first 5 for me.
Kong's Clips also moved. Shout out to what a run Justin's having in WNBA today. What a great start to his day. Cash in the Sky. What a comeback in that
Nice.
second quarter. Cash in the Sky first half. Mikey Money ribeye play today is in. Big O looking at the Nerfy and Kong's Clips adding a unit to his position on Sanchez over 17.5 outs. So, Jose, are you making anything official on this one?
Yeah, first five money line for the Rockies plus 150. There we go.
All right, Jose has moved on the first five Rockies at plus one.
Ricky Bobby, I'll answer your question real quick. San Antonio doesn't get dick shit for storms. I lived in Virginia. We had a bunch of tornado warnings and shit there, and I lived in Oklahoma, and so that's where I guess where the real shit is. But no, it's just hot as fuck constantly, and once every blue moon, we'll get a hurricane that affects Houston and all these places, and somehow affects us. And then once every other blue moon, we'll apparently get ice, and no one will be prepared for it, and then the whole world will shut down. So you're good though, Ricky Bobby. Beautiful.
And we have the ribeye play of the day, 8-2 over the last 10 ribeyes. Ellie Dela Cruz ribby at plus 195. Shout out to our guy, Mikey Money. She arches nicely. By the way, she's fully involved.
She's not worried about a twister.
No, well, not yet. But it's coming. Twister's coming. Twister's gonna come get her.
I just watched Twister this morning while doing work. I got to finish Twister. It's not bad. Or Twister.
Well, I can promise you I will watch it 0 times. 7:10 p.m. Eastern is our next spot. Oakland Athletics 34-59, 12-34 on the road at Boston Red Sox 15-40, 21-23 at home. Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. We have JP Sears going up against Slick Nick Pavetta. That was a real nice Robert Franklin. You mean the video or the actual play? I'll put it right here. Mikey Money. Oh, sorry. Let me do that again. Mikey Money. Jose, if you could illuminate it here in the chat, but I'll put it here for you. It is Ella Dela Cruz. Ellie Dela Cruz ribeye play today plus 195. Here we go. A's Red Sox. Sears, Slick Nick Pavetta. Sears had a great start last out. It's another very frustrating situation where I expected him to have a nice start. Bounce back opportunity against the Angels. He did. And then Slick Nick was your call. That kind of came out of nowhere, that great start against the Marlins. You believed in him in that spot. What the hell is his problem at home? He's been terrible. 1-3, 5.52 ERA, 273 opponent's batting average. He's been terrible at home. Red Sox rating 257.39 OPS versus lefties. A's 226.37 OPS versus righties. Bullpen is, Red Sox 4.15 ERA, 1.24 WHIP is better than what the A's have done since June 1st, but the Red Sox bullpen has not been excellent of late. Let's take a look at the line history here for this Red Sox A's spot. We're dealing with a 10. This opened up at a 9.5. And within 22 minutes, this went to 10. But it came back to 9.5. It came back to 9.5 until 7:30 this morning. But we're back at 10 with a half-run move to the over. Take a look at the money line for this spot. We have the Red Sox at minus 179. They opened up at minus 180, so there's been no movement there. No movement at all. Let's get into the cash flow. We have, the weather, 84 Fahrenheit, 15.3 miles per hour out to the Green Monster. So very offensive weather. It's hot and humid. And cash-wise here, we have, let me get back up to the Red Sox. We have 92% of tickets, 95% of cash on the over. We have 92% of tickets and 98% of cash on the Red Sox, and this line doesn't move. So here we go, Jose. When I wrote 50-40 for their record, I could not believe it.
Come on.
10 games over 500, these Red Sox. Take it
on.
away, Jose. A's Red Sox.
Again, my favorite part about this Red Sox team is they're not doing it with home runs. It's the best part about it. League home runs and I guess offense in general is down across the league this year. So they're making their own offense, stealing bases, etc. That's my favorite part about this Red Sox team, and that is why I believe they will be dangerous come October, but we'll get there when we get there. Yeah, Nick Pivetta, I forgot, is Lee Davis here, owns these Oakland A's. 6-0, 0.71 ERA, 44 Ks, 38 innings pitched. I kind of thought this was going to be a replay of yesterday, but the thing that has sketched me out a little bit and worried me is that this line, the exact same one from yesterday. I expected this after they saw that ass whooping from yesterday. I expected like minus 200 at least. The same line is a little worrisome. I've had my theories with the Red Sox against lefties all year. They have proved me wrong at many points. They've been great against lefties. The offense has been just phenomenal against lefties compared to what I thought it would be, truthfully. But I don't know. It's just a little sketchy for me, Jimmy, that this is the same line from yesterday. I do like an over in this game, admittedly, but I'm not going to have any action in on it. Like I said, Pivetta's numbers against the A's are really, really good, and I thought the Red Sox would roll here, but the line sketches me out.
Yeah, but what's going on with Slick Nick Pivetta at home?
That's a good question. Now, it's tough to say. Home road splits are always a little tricky for me because, it's always pitcher to pitcher based. Maybe it's the mound, maybe it's just, I don't know. But, the teams that he's faced at home, or at least are no slouch. That just scared the fuck out of me. Marlins, he dominates them on the road, obviously, but Padres at home was a good team. Phillies, good team, former team as well. He dominated the Braves at home, gave up some runs to Detroit. Milwaukee's a good team this year. And that's really it. All the starts have been touched up. So at least they've been the solid, good squads at the least. So I think that's more matchup based than location based, truly. For some reason, my goddamn fucking smoke alarm is starting to beep now. So my house, this apartment is just falling apart.
No, it's just the battery is low. Battery's low. I have to deal with it myself, my friend. And so what I do is I rip the whole thing out. And it hangs.
I'm about to do that.
Thanks. All right, A's, Red Sox, no action for us. Let's bring back the man who's hitting at 62.5% on the show. Told you guys he was going to deliver, and he's done just that. Please welcome TJ back, safe and sound from the tornado.
Survived the twister. Yeah, TJ, you scared some people. Von Polo was scared for your health and well-being right there.
Man, it got really loud. It got really loud.
Yeah. Von Polo legitimately.
Von Polo was gonna drive to upstate New York and save your ass. It seemed.
That's my man.
Yeah, no, I respect it. TJ, first off, you have noted. J-Dub, I'll put the numbers versus lefties here. This is just since June 1st, but there you go. This average and OPS. Why don't you just very quickly drop the last game heading up here for a second. TJ touched on the homer per fly ball. Says you think the A's go deep here a couple times. Just touch on what you were writing there. Did you move on A's, Red Sox?
Yeah, I have Rays first five. A's first five. I said Rays. Yeah. I think there's too much potential for them to have a big inning. And at the number, it's worth the risk to me. Especially with the wind. But, those fly balls are going to go over the fence. So very high fly ball rate, very high barrel rate, very high home run per fly ball. Bad numbers in the zone for Pivetta. So there's just a lot adding up to the A's getting some runs.
I love it. All right, let's move on to best bet number 2 from our guy TJ. He's not on for Marlins Astros, but we'd like to keep you here for Marlins Astros. We're gonna go four-headed monster with our man Daby Cab, and then your next game is Pirates Brewers. We'll keep Daby Cab for that, and then those are your 3 best bets here for us.
Yeah, and I want to throw on Detroit first 5 money line as an official play, 122.
Ooh.
I wasn't on for that, but after breaking it down with the chat and you guys, Detroit first 5 money line. Sorry to do that, Jimmy.
No, that's great. No, we want action. Trust me. Tigers first 5 money line minus 122.
Plus.
Oh, good. Plus 122 for TJ. Olsen going to shove. I'm looking forward to get my action in here. Okay, let's roll on for us. We have TJ best bet number 2 Well, now number 3, Citi Field in Queens, New York for the Nats Mets. First off, weather-wise, it's Citi Field, 82 Fahrenheit, 17.7 miles per hour out to left center. Dies down to 15.9. That's not much of a dying down. Shout out to AOD in the house. Patrick Corbin going up against Luis Severino. Let's get into the line history here for the next best bet from TJ. We have the Mets at minus 183. They opened up at minus 185, so no move towards them. Let's get into the total. The total right now is a 9.5 minus 109 to the over. This opened up at 9, now at 9.5. Half run move to the over. Let's get into the cash flow. From a cash flow perspective, we have 96% of tickets, 97% of cash on the over and a half run move in that direction. 88% of tickets and 92% of cash on the Mets and no move in that direction. Patrick Corbin coming off an okay start, 7-6 loss at home to the Cardinals. I haven't gotten over it. That plus 140. That was a huge swing for me on Friday. And
yeah, I feel you.
I'm not over it.
I'm right there with you.
It was 5-0, but even that bottom of the 10th, minus 550 loaded bases with one out and lined into a double play. Luis Severino 5-3. Oh, but on the road, Corbin's been slightly better than he's been at home. But look, his numbers are inflated. No surprise to anybody there. And Severino 5-3, 3.83 ERA, 1.20 WHIP. He's coming off allowing 7 earned runs over 6 innings at the Pirates. He's been good at home, really good at home. 3-1, 2.82 ERA, 6 home runs allowed over 54 in the third, 225 opponents batting average. The Nats are hitting right now. We're against righties, 262, 738 OPS, really good. But the Mets are ripping the leather off the ball against lefties, 306, 920 OPS. Both bullpens have been poor. Nats bullpen 4.61 ERA, 1.24 WHIP. Mets bullpen 5.03 ERA, 1.34 WHIP. TJ, best bet. Take it away.
Yeah, I mean, this one just seems obvious. When I had messaged you what my plays were today, it was going to be full game over, but then that thing jumped to half run right as I was sending that out. Sometimes I wish we did this show at like 7 a.m. But the over when this thing opened up was plus money, plus 105 on the over at 9, which was amazing. But you look at Severino, man. It's not just the amount of earned runs in his last couple starts. It's these base runners. He shoved once against the Cubs, 3 starts ago, 6 innings, 0 run, 3 hits. But against Pittsburgh, he has 11 base runners. Against Houston, 9. Texas, 9. Miami, 10. They only got 1 run off him, but 10 base runners. Washington, 7. He's not putting them away. And, he's terrible against lefties, too. His numbers go way up. And you got Abrams, Wood, Winker, Ruiz, Garcia. They got a bunch of lefties, which is why they're hitting righties good right now. They're decent against Severino's pitch mix. And that's just on the national side. So I think they're going to get a couple. But obviously, there's not much to say about the Mets bats. I mean, they're number 3, number 2 at home, weighted runs created plus last 30 days. Last 30 days versus lefties, they're number 3 in all those categories. Hurts for Washington shut them down, Gore shut them down, but otherwise, they got Tahini, Imanaga, Valdez, Falter, Parker. They're just putting up runs at a high rate. Their bullpen's been terrible since Edwin Diaz went out. Nationals bullpen, who actually started the season pretty well. I expected them to be a top, 13 type bullpen. They've fallen quite a bit too over the last 30 and last 14. You got that strong wind going out. The books moved the total. All the money's on the over, so I don't really love that. But if they moved it from, a very juiced 9 under up to 9.5, I gotta like it. So I am going to go first 5 here, though. No, I'm not. I apologize. I'm going full game over at the worst, at the 9.5 now, and I'm going with a Yurfie, and I'm trying to pull up all my books after I had to close everything down to get back on the show. So I'm trying to find a good Yurfie number, minus 126 at Heritage, but I'll keep looking. So I'm full game over 9.5 and first inning over a half run.
And Yurfie is minus 126. And he's going to try to find better. I'm going to find the best over 9.5. So this also coincides with our guy, Justin McKelvey, who's absolutely murked WNBA this morning. I wish I'd just tailed every single thing that he said. You know, that's the reason why we started the show early, though. And I am very pleased that when we do put extra effort into something that it delivers, and I hope you guys got paid with Justin. But the Sacks play today, Pete Alonso RBI. Pete Alonso RBI for our guy, Justin. And stay hot, Justin. We love to see it, man.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
I love to see it, man. You get out of life what you put into it. And Justin works his ass off at capping, and look at the glory. Jose, you got me off a live bet on the Fever because you were right. It was I have last year we had such success live betting on our NFL shows. It was very streaky, but overall success. And I lost horribly whenever I'd go against the original cap because I thought, oh, well, this number's really nice. And so thank you for mentioning that. It was the Mystics all the time. I'll just deal with the fact that I've only made one live bet and cashed it, and there was so much money to fucking make. Take it away, Jose. Nats Mets.
Yeah, I felt kind of obvious here too with TJ. I wanted to take like the Mets team total, just fade Patrick Corbin in some form or fashion here. Corbin's numbers against the Mets individually, pitched against them earlier this year, 6 earned runs. Last year, 8 earned runs. Last year again, 4 earned runs. Just not been good. But honestly, like I just sit here, I'm like, do I want to bet this obvious ass play? Because I really could see an under coming through here, at least like first 5.
But who would be delivering here?
I think both these guys could. Sure, Patrick Corbin has pitched poorly against the Mets, but every time he's gotten touched up this year, it's come back and he's pitched pretty okay.
But he didn't pitch. Oh, you mean like going back to against the same team? You don't mean?
No, I mean like back-to-back starts here, like 8 earned runs against
last night or last start.
Yeah, 5 earned runs, or sorry, 5 innings, 3 earned runs for Patrick Corbin. You'll take that. I think the blow-up start specifically, like that Mets start, he got touched up, 6 earned runs, and then that next start he goes 5 1/3, 1 earned run against Detroit, 8 earned runs against Minnesota. Follows that up with half of that. Still not good, but 6 innings.
But how does that relate to this start?
I think he just has a good opportunity to bounce back against teams. And I know he's had 3 earned runs, and his last start was a good one, but I think he can just bounce back and pitch better against the Mets here, learning from his mistakes here. It's more about learning about mistakes than, wiping the memory of a bad start here. And he's an older veteran pitcher that has been around the block many times. Now, again, the main concern here is that the Mets smash lefties from my split from the 15th to today. 4th, 145 weighted runs created plus. I think, same thing with Severino, touched up in his last start. I think he can bounce back in the same way, but I'm honestly just not confident enough to make the bet. And, TJ obviously in the over. I don't want to go head to head against him either. So, again, I just sat here. I thought maybe these two teams could, or maybe these two pitchers can find a way to go first 5 under here. Maybe I want to be square and take the Mets full game team total. But I don't want to end up moving on either one. So maybe if these guys end up pitching well both, I'll be pissed. But I'll be more pissed if I bet an under here. And predictably, we see Patrick Corbin give up 6 earned runs in 5 innings.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to face 8 righties today. That's gonna be tough for him. Every once in a while, the books just give us a gift, man. I used it.
All right,
that was a tornado.
That was hopefully he's back.
Oh, sorry, Vaughn. I don't want to scare Vaughn Polo. I'm sorry.
Oh, now you're being a dick. Coco Bongo in the house. Great to see you, Coco Bongo. If I see him move, I'll know he's back, but I don't see him.
I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that Wi-Fi just took a beating there.
Yes, I think that's a fair assumption. But he didn't disappear, right?
Okay,
fully pull.
We'll see. We'll give him a few minutes, but yes, obviously, Von Paul. I'm just busting your balls a bit, Vaughn. It's nice to see you.
Shout out to Coco Bongo though, man. Drunk for a week.
I
Sounds
think.
pretty nice. Sounds pretty nice to me, man. All right, we're gonna roll. Oh, yeah, now he's disappeared. All right, let's bring on our next guest. We have best bet number 2 from the Magic Man. Please welcome back our guy Daby Cab. No worries. So yeah, the power just went out for our guy TJ. He's got one spot left on the board, so we will hear it. Dabra Kadabra, welcome back, my friend.
Yeah, good to be back. Hope TJ's good. I'm sure he's all right though.
Well,
Isn't it nice being on the other side of the like the bad weather? Now you get to just watch it, not experience it.
Yeah, I still lost power like a day ago again. So I don't want to.
Right? Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I don't want to talk about it. I want to push the powers that be right now. Let's just move on from that. Good. You can see me. You can hear me. We're good. All right, let's go.
Red Girl asking what the taint play of the day. Is there a taint play of the day, Jose?
No, I haven't gotten a specific taint, but he did like the over in the Orioles game, I believe it was. Just send me some information backing the Orioles. But yeah, taint did cash yesterday. I believe it was the team total. Cashed in the first inning as well.
We were all on it. Yeah, it was beautiful.
That was one of my winners. So shout out to you, Matty Ice. Matty Ice is watching for sure.
We love you, Matty. So what, his comments aren't coming in?
I guess not. I don't know. Maybe it's a work thing, but I'm not sure. He said that his live chat's not working for whatever reason. But you have TJ's last play, I assume, right?
I do. We're good. But let's focus on Dabra Kadabra here. I think Brian Hoeing is a really good pitcher. I know that we're not going to see much of him. I know he was pitching up against the White Sox last start. That was as confident as I've been on a first 3 and first 5 under as I was in that Hoeing torpedo start on Friday. By the way, it doesn't matter. I picked up while I was watching that start, I was driving past a sports card store and stopped and checked it out. And I picked up a opening night ticket to the Raptors and opening night pin and all and framed up
from 2019 or whenever they won the championship.
No, opening night 1995. Yeah, looked really nice. I'm very pleased with it. Brian Hoeing going up against Framber Valdez. I like Hoeing. I think he's quality, but he's not going to go deep in the games. We know that. But they're stretching him now. Going up against Framber Valdez, he allows 3 earned runs in that first inning against the Jays and then shuts them down. The Marlins are horrific against lefties, 226, 605 OPS. Why doesn't Framber Valdez shove here? He's been okay at home, 3-2, 3.71 ERA, 253 opponent's batting average. Astros are hitting righties hard, 269, 765 OPS. Marlins bullpen is legitimately been better than the Astros bullpen since June 1st. And again, I like Hoeing. Let's take a look at the line history here. We have this at 8, minus 114 to the under. This opened up at 8, got to 8.5 for 10 minutes or so, then right back to 8. Overall, we have 13 cents of movement towards the under. On the money line, we have Valdez and the Astros at minus 219. They opened up at minus 260. Opened up at minus 260 in this one. God, am I going to be on the first 3 plus a half? I feel it coming here. Let's take a look at the cash flow. 98% of the tickets in cash on the over. Am I gonna be on a full game under as well? I feel that on its way. 92% of the tickets and 97% of cash on the Astros in this giant move towards the fish. My goodness, this is becoming extremely appealing. Let's hear Daby Cab's best bet. Take it away.
I was ready to talk about the game, but I kept hearing you say this, and now I'm off track because you said you like Hoeing, and I got this pimp I can line you up with. He's dropping straight your dong, bro. Okay, his name is Alvarez. All right, I'm gonna line you up with this pimp named Alvarez, who I am 10-3 when I bet this year. We're gonna go ahead and take his over 1.5 total bases again today, Jimmy. There's no overthinking it here. It's plus money. He hasn't got a hit in his last 6 at bats. He's ready to drop some your dong, like I said. So if you like Hoeing so much, do what I said. Line up with the pimp. I got you, bro.
Yeah, I realized that I put myself in
That was not bad. That was not bad. That was well played.
I put myself in an uncomfortable situation there with Hoeing. We had a female in the chat named Monica who told us that it wasn't pronounced Hoeing, it was pronounced Hooing.
Oh.
But I watched the entire start, and it is hoeing. It is hoeing. That's how it's pronounced, and he's very proud of it. Jose, so what's Alvarez over 1.5 bases?
Yeah, and I'll talk more though. Obviously, I have more to say about the game. So, and I've got another bet. I really did bet that parlay. I'm not going to give a plus 340 out on the show as a bet for the show because that's not going to. I haven't tracked it. I've been starting to dabble with parlays and baseball a little bit, and you know what? I've been making a little bit of money, so I'm going to at least share them with the people. I just don't know if I want to track it on with my show bets just yet. You can track it on the side if you want. That would be dope, but totally up to you. Either way, I do have the Astros money line, Alvarez over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, and then Seager over 1.5 total bases. And like I said, it was plus 340 right there, 341 actually. But the Astros right now, man, won 7 of their last 8 games. Offensively, they've been great, especially at home. They're putting up runs left and right. You've heard what I said about the Astros all season. I think they catch the Mariners within the next 13, 15 games. And I'm still standing beside that. And this is a game where somebody like Valdez, who's been struggling a little bit, has an opportunity at home where he's comfortable against a team that sucks at hitting, to get right. And I don't see any reason why he doesn't do that. I'm not jumping out to take a run line at, minus 217 at home or something like that. But the parlay, absolutely. I love it. And if you don't want to go crazy with it, just put Alvarez in the Astros, Alvarez prop in the Astros to win, get you a little bit of plus money.
So I copied and pasted it earlier when you gave it, but it's up to you whether you want to make that an official pick or not. It's totally up to you.
We don't gotta worry about that. The 3 I'm going to give you are going to go 3-0 anyways.
I love it, Alvarez. So that was not hits, runs, and RBIs. That's over 1.5 bases
for the bet. 1.5 bases for the parlay. It's hits, runs, RBIs.
And for the bet, what's the juice on Alvarez?
Plus 115.
And
they're both bets. I did bet both of them. I'm just saying, like, for you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I feel you. So it's to take the Marlins first 3 plus a half. It's minus 120. I think that it's still. I mean, I'd
rather have plus money, obviously, but
yeah, I don't think I bet it with giving that vig out. Take it away though for us, Jose. Marlins Astros.
Yeah, tough game. I'll probably just stay off. I do like the under as well. The Marlins were semi-interesting here, but the Astros, along with another American League team, are the best teams in the American League right now in the last few weeks. And that other team is the Boston Red Sox. They've had the best records. I will stay off fading the Astros. I like the unders. I like the Marlins here, but I will stay off. And shout out to you, Wild Hound.
Yeah, what a guy. Shout out to
Did you just say you like the Astros and the Marlins?
No, I said I like the Marlins here, but I will stay off because I respect the Astros.
Yeah. What do you think of the under 8 in this? I feel like after Framber got right in that first inning against the Jays, that he could carry that over into the start and shut down the Marlins.
I would rather have first 5, I think, than full game just because of the fear of the Marlins bullpen.
Can you give me a quick bullpen update if you can?
Yeah. So the only guys that threw yesterday, Anthony Bender, Oscar Brazaban, and AJ Puck, all who I assume will be ready to go again here today.
I mean, there's no chance that Hoeing isn't getting your donged.
All right.
Just keep slamming it home, Daby. Just keep slamming it home.
I'm just saying.
I think that the first 3 under 2.5 is also the way to go here because it's sort of like betting on the Marlins.
What juice is that? Because I assume that would be like minus 180. That seems ridiculous, right?
It's minus 120.
Yeah, I like that. I like that would be my move if I had to make a bet on this one. First 5, like I said, I've looked at. I might end up moving on it by the end of the show, but I'm getting. Let me pull it up again because I had it up here and I just don't remember what the line was for it here. I'm getting a 4.5 minus 115, which 4.5 is appealing.
But what if it's Roddery Munoz that comes in? It will be, right?
Well, does our friends at RotoWire have anything to say about that?
it's going to be Rodri, and he's like, it's very uncomfortable watching him out there. You know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut the under 8. I'm just going to take the first 3 under 2.5. Okay.
Owen will
Jose,
go
I gave you
3
that
innings.
name of the POD too. You don't want to show my video with that?
Oh, I actually did
Morgan says
upload
he's
it.
pitching tomorrow. That's very helpful. Okay, that puts the under 8 back in play. Thank you, Morgan. Okay. Well, I've got work to do when I add to this spot. Daby Cab, don't go. Stay with us for the next one, and then you close up shop with Rangers Angels. Let's roll. The next one was going to be TJ's final best bet, and that is a first 5 over 4.5. So I'm going to get this up here, and I will line shop for TJ on the first 5 over 4.5. Let's get to work here with Pirates Brewers. The Pirates 44 and 47, 22 and 23 on the road. Brewers 53 and 39, 27 and 14 at home. We're at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's take a look at the weather. We know that the roof doesn't usually move. It's just that there's no air conditioning. So we want to know when it's very, very, very hot in Milwaukee. It's not. So nothing to worry about there. Let's get into the line history here for Brew Crew Buccos. We have the Buccos at plus 141. They opened up at plus 136. So 5 or 6 cents the other way, minus 148 to minus 154 towards the Brew Crew. And on the total here, we have this sitting at an 8.5, and it's minus 116 to the over. Open minus 113 to the over. So 4 cents of movement towards the over. Let's get into the cash flow then for this spot. We have 98% of tickets, 98% of cash on the over. 84% of tickets, 83% cash on the Brewers. We have Martin Perez, the lefty, against Tobias Myers. I like Tobias Myers, and Martin Perez really delivered, and that was predicted by you, Jose, in that last start. He's come off the IL. He looks much, much better than he looked early, and he allowed 1 earned run. The Brewers are hitting 251 against lefties, but just 688 OPS, so no power at all anymore, and that's since June 1st. His last start was strong. He's been horrific on the road. 315 opponent's batting average, but is he better now? That's the question after coming back off the IL. Tobias Myers just allowed 4 earned runs in his first start in the thin air of Coors Field. He struggled at home, but that was because of that first start of the year, I believe. Jose, could you verify that? It was that first start of the year at home that he got just destroyed, and I don't know if he made it through an inning. Is that what has ballooned these numbers? Pirates first righties, 234, 705 OPS, and the Brewers bullpen's been very good since June 1st, 301. 1.17 whip, while the Pirates bullpen 4.19 ERA, 1.31 whip. Over in the chat, Kevin Garrett's back in business with us. Great to see you, Kevin Garrett's never wrong to take a break, especially before football season. Trilogy play of the day is in. It is a Brewers first 5 and full game, and with a ton of confidence, the most profitable trend for LJ from H-Town. So off first 5 loss in the same series, 16-4 overall in division situations with that look for LJ. And Wild Hound, like in the Orioles tonight, Wild Hound minutes away from the big game, Netherlands, England. So, Daby Cab, I know this is not one of your best bets, but your thoughts on this Martin Perez, Tobias Myers situation at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah, shout out to our guy Wild Hound. I was just reading his message. You know, Perez, like you said, he had that 7 1/3 innings against St. Louis. But he's been on the year. He struggled on the road. You touched on his ERA of 5.97, a 1.67 whip. The whip is what scares me even more than the ERA right there. You know, Milwaukee's already got to him. You know, on May 15th, he gave up 9 runs, 11 hits against Milwaukee. 5 of those hits were home runs in that game. He's 0-2 against them with the 8.31 ERA. I'm with LJ here. I like Milwaukee first 5. It's just Myers. It's if I want to get behind Myers or not. And you saying you like him makes me kind of want to get behind him even more. I don't know if I fully trust him, but I definitely don't trust Perez. So I can see why TJ would be on that first 5 over.
Honestly, if TJ wasn't on the first 5 over, I'd be on the
Brewers
first 5
first
under.
5. Oh.
No, I'd be on the first 5 under. I think like Troy saying, the Brewers are not hitting lefties with any power whatsoever. Martin Perez looks locked in after that IL stint, just like Kyle Freeland. I mean, it's very, very similar older pitchers, older lefties that are not dealing with the arm fatigue we usually see them dealing with. In saying that, I'm not going to go up against, not going to go up against TJ. Jose, your thoughts, Pirates Brewers?
I think the Brewers are better at hitting lefties than we think. Full season, their average from the 15th to today, 13th, 117 weighted runs created plus against lefties. So that I think that's the thing that keeps me off of it a little bit, honestly. I do like Tobias Myers. He's a quality pitcher, and like I've been kind of saying throughout the last few weeks, the Brewers are their own little mini pitching factory in their own right. They're good at creating relievers out of thin air. They're starting to do it, starting pitching more and more. And I like Martin Perez. I believe in him as well, and I find it interesting, like you said, Martin Perez and Kyle Freeland kind of in that same boat. He's been pitching for a little bit now. This is only his third start off the IL. He has 13 starts on the season, but 2 off the IL. Fresher. Again, give it like 3 or 4 more starts. Maybe he'll get worn down again, but he's fresh, and I think he could be bet on. So I stay off this game as well.
Let's roll on. We're all off it, but TJ's last best bet is in first 5 over 4.5. Pinnacle has at -121. Will Hill at -115. We'll give him the -115 here. Let's roll on.
By the way, real quick, Myers did pitch well against these Pirates in his debut. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run. So
when did he get touched? Because he got violently touched at some point in this beginning.
He went 5 innings, 1 earned run, 5 innings, 4 earned runs, 3 innings, 4 earned runs. And then from then on, he's been pretty good, honestly. He got touched up for 5 earned runs against the White Sox on the 31st of June. But otherwise, he's been pretty solid.
Let's roll on. Next up, we have best bet from Dabra Cadabra. Texas Rangers 44-48, 20-27 on the road. At the LA Angels 37-54, 18-28 at Homewood Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Get into the weather in Anaheim. 81 Fahrenheit, hot. 8.4 miles per hour to right center. Dies down to 7.6 by the end of it. Michael Lorenzen going up against Griffin Canning. The dislike for Griffin Canning I've been listening to, and he's not been very good this year, so I get it. This first 5 has gone from 4.5 to 5. It moved to 5 at 11:18 a.m. and it's just +102 to the over, but a move from 4.5 to 5. Full game here we have the total at 9. +102 to the under, juice to the over. Oh, wow. Oh, no, because, So this opened up at 9, and it went to 8.5. It wasn't a real 8.5. It's +105 to the under, but then it gets back to 9. It gets up to 9.5. This was hanging out at 9.5 for the entirety of the show. Then it gets back to 9. We still have 9 cents of movement on that over. Let's go to the money line here. From a money line perspective, we have these Angels at +111. They opened up at +132. Jesus, 21 cents of movement towards the Angels, the home dog. Wow. Wine time 7 and 8 on the Angels. Last 15 took them again today at +120. By the way, Von Polo is on the Pirates and LJ. Corey Seager over 1.5 bases off no hit game. Says less cash. Daby Cab and sports money. Mikey Mine says road favorites facing an opponent from the same league are 25-3 straight up if they were a favorite and either lost the previous game of the series or won by a run. So that's these Texas Rangers here. But a huge move towards the Angels. Are you then, Mikey, not caring about the move? Are you then going to be on the Texas Rangers here? I mean, the trend would lead you there. Michael Lorenzen, these are 2 pitchers I like very much. Lorenzen, 5-4, 3.21 ERA, 1.18 WHIP. Coming off a nice start and a 3-0 win at home over the Rays. He's been good on the road all year long, 3.27 ERA. Now, the K to walk ratio is a problem. It's a problem, being a problem all year long for him. 41 Ks and 24 walks on the road. 7 jacks allowed over 52 and a third with a 215 opponent's batting average. And he says, nope, let's let the public dummy this line down for me. He took the -1 earlier, and he'll hit it again now. But Razor Sharp Picks is on the other side. He is on the Angels money line, believing in this market move towards Griff. Griff's last start, 5-1 loss to the Cubs. Look, we cashed the first 5 in the full game under. That was live with you guys on Friday, last Friday on the early game. And I had to hold my breath. First 5. Hunter Strickland came in, and he's not the Hunter Strickland we remember. And I had to hold my breath there. We cashed that first 5 by a half run, and then the game went to sleep. Rangers versus righties, 246.59 OPS. They're not hitting with any power against righties. And back to Griff, though, he's been much better at home than he's been on the road. 4.37 ERA, 262 opponents batting average. Still not very good. So neither team has any power against righties. 659 OPS for the Rangers, 676 for the Angels. The Rangers bullpen's been quite good of late. 3.40 ERA, 1.27 whip since June 1st, while the Angels 4.29, 1.25. Take it away for us. And Lee Davis says, isn't the public on the Rangers? Yes. Yes, 77% of tickets and 75% of cash. So it's not the public that's moving this line down. So that's well put, Lee. 97 and 94 on the over. Daby Cab, take it away. Your best bet.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to say something, but I'll leave it to the chat. Shout out to you guys in the chat, man. This is an interesting game here. The Rangers have been hot. I mean, they've got to be. I've said it right now for the Rangers. This is the season. You got to understand, if they don't win, at least 2 of their next, how many games do they got against the Astros? 3. I think they got 3 against the Astros before the break. If they don't win at least 2 of these next 4 games, I think the decision will be made within the clubhouse that they're sellers at the trade deadline, right? Because they've got so many people, Scherzer, Evaldi, so many people that are in the last year of their contract. A lot of key pieces that the Rangers, I think, are going to sell if they don't get back in the race right now. Like, there is no time. And I think that's what you're seeing is desperation out of this team. I think that's why they're playing as well as they're playing. And I know that it can be appealing, seeing that line come down with the home dog. But for me personally, I would stay away from how desperate this team seems to be playing. And, I'm the first person to tell you to fade them when it's time to fade them, because I don't really give a shit. I'm not, I kind of root for them, but I'm not the fan that Jose likes to think I am. I really don't care about the baseball team. I care about my money, and that's it. And I think right now they're a train, and I think Lorenzen's got that dog in him. I've always liked Lorenzen. He's got to stop walking people, like you said. But he's only given up, I had the numbers here, 67 or 63 hits in 87 innings. You touched on that batting average right around 200 opponent batting average. I like him. And I think this is a place where he's going to be comfortable pitching because he's used to it. You got Heim back behind the dish for him. I think he pitches a good game here. Maybe you look at a first 5 under if you like both pitchers, Jimmy. For me, I wanted to just touch on the fact that I'm back on Seager here. I've cashed on him 5 times in a row last week, and then I didn't bet him yesterday, and he didn't hit it. Of course, I'm going to be back on it today. I love it. Like LJ said, he's off the no-hit game. I got -125 for the 1.5 bases. And we talk about these props because I track myself very, very clearly on things that I bet, consistently. I was not in the green with Seager until last week. It took a 5-0 run for me to get back in the green, but that's how it works. It's a game of averages, and you have to play. If you're going to do what I'm doing, you have to fucking do it. You understand what I'm saying? There's no half-assing it. You have to either do it or not.
Seager over 1.5 bases at -125 for Daby Cab. Jose, Rangers, Angels, your plan.
I'll stay off here. I like the Angels, admittedly, with the line move, but won't fade Daby Cab, and I won't fade Mikey Money and the boys. So I'm off. Lorenzen, definitely going to be a trade piece. I think these Rangers should sell. Scherzer, Lorenzen, guys like this, I think they should sell, but we'll see what happens, obviously. So no action for me. Again, keeping it short, but I'll be interested to see what your guy Griffin Canning does here tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to need more time with this Lorenzen Canning spot. That's a real legit market move towards the Angels. Now they fall into that short home dog
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I thought about doing what I did on Monday, and I gave it out to everyone on Monday, and I know a few people cashed it with me. I had Seager's prop, and the Rangers money line parlayed together for plus 196. And, I went ahead and bet it, full unit like a regular bet. I'm convinced in this second half, Jimmy, I'm going to start doing more of that. Like, if you're on a side, fucking pick a player that's going to hit his prop for the game also, and you're getting close to plus 200. I think I think it might be a better way to bet it, and I've been doing it a little bit here. I was close to doing it on this game. I haven't done it yet.
I love it. Daby Cab Seager over 1.5 bases at minus 125. He's on Alvarez over 1.5 bases at plus 115. And he has, go up here.
Padres team total over 3.5, minus 130.
Padres team total over 3.5.
And then I want everybody to hear it again, even though you can track it as the POD. How about that? Because I gave Jose the name of the POD. And once you see the video, you'll understand. But Alvarez hits, runs, RBIs over 1.5, Seager over 1.5 total bases, and Astros money line. I went ahead and took that at plus 340. So
I love it. Daby. Razor saying Texas 20 and 27 on the road. They shouldn't be minus 135 versus anyone on the road. And Lee Davis says he thinks they bend Steam Chasers over in the second half of the MLB season. Daby, thank you for making time. Oh, sorry.
We'll dummy it down. Morgan Spooner got it. We'll just call it the lobster claw is my favorite one. Since it had 3 legs, I tried to give it 3, but we'll just call it the lobster claw POD. How about that? Jose, do you have any graphics for me?
Yeah, Daby Cab, why don't you introduce it so people know what it is?
This is the lobster claw POD.
Choose from many unique models, including Hidden Valley, the Flying V, Catcher's Mitt, Panty Gobbler, Puppy Taco, Denim Bagel, Lobster Claw, and last but not least, Puppet Mouth.
I like it. Will that get us a flag, Jose?
How did you not laugh?
Hopefully not. Hopefully. He's just worried about the copyright strikes of it. No, we'll be fine. Hopefully.
Oh, we already played it.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah, but of course, the Medicaid's ineligible. But ours is. Yeah. You don't think that we just got the flag?
No, we'll find out. We'll find out after the show. We roll these dice. We're gamblers, Jimmy.
Mikey Money, it doesn't count for Medicaid because of the content. It's not available. Yeah, and I saw the video with you guys already, so I knew.
You know what helps with that, Jimmy, is all you guys that are members. So thank you for joining the memberships, the donations. Anybody that wants to be a member that's not a member, hit that button down there. It helps the channel a ton. You guys keep us afloat, keep us alive. So thank you guys. And Jimmy, thank you. Jose, I love you. My bad if we get a hit on that. I mean, it's kind of Jose's fault. But my bad. And
no, it's all good. Yeah. It's all good.
It'll be my fault. And by the way, a quick reminder: Daby Cab and myself will be together for the MLB All-Star Game in Arlington, Home Run Derby. We'll be filming things together throughout the whole weekend. So if you're in the Arlington area, avoided the hurricanes.
You're gonna get the camera out this time when I tell you to get you guys to get the damn camera out.
I don't have.
Well, it wasn't Jose. I'll give him that.
He's looking at me.
I was like, "Give me the microphone so we can do what we came here to do." And he was like, "No." I'm like, "What do you mean, no?"
Well, Victor's coming along with us, so shout out to him. But we'll be all together this weekend, actually. So we'll be leaving Sunday. It'll be a lot of fun. So shout out to that, and shout out to you, Daby.
Hell yeah! I'll see you guys.
Be well, Cadabra. Please support Daby on X at Daby Cab, and of course, Medicate Mondays. All right, let's roll on. We have 2 games left on today's show, and one I destroyed. It's not this one. I hammered, doubled up on the last game and had destroyed line move. I don't know what it is now. But
that makes sense.
9:40 p.m. Eastern. Atlanta Braves 51-39, 22-22 on the road. At the Arizona Diamondbacks, 45-47, 22-23 at home. We're at Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona. Of course, the roof will be closed. Charlie Morton going up against Slade Ciccone. Morton 5-5, 3.96 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. His last start wasn't very good. A 4-2 loss at home versus the Giants. 5 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of which were earned. He allowed 2 jacks. On the road, being a little worse than he's been at home at Truist. On the road, 2-2, 4.28 ERA, 2.33 opponent's batting average. Slade Ciccone, 2-6, 6.10 ERA, 1.31 WHIP. What this man has done at home has been perplexing, befuddling. 17 innings, 27 hits, 22 earned runs, 360 opponent's batting average. Now, 45 of his innings have been on the road where he's been pretty good. but he's just got lit up and smoked at home, and he's coming off a start where he didn't look good in a 10-8 loss to the Padres. Now, you could say the Braves can't use those sticks. 226, 64 OPS versus righties since June 1st. Diamondbacks versus righties, 263, 781 OPS. They're raking. Their lineup's so tough. Watching Montero and Lourdes Gurriel hold this lineup down just makes me want to ensure that everybody just Atkins and Shapiro are fired. Fired. Please fire those guys. They've ruined our franchise. And that stupid Varsho trade. Yeah, like we need another son of a major leaguer on this team of rich kids. Bullpen-wise, 2.21 ERA for the Braves, 0.96 whip since June 1st, best in the league, just ahead of the Guardians. Diamondbacks bullpen, 4.68 ERA, 1.37 whip. Mikey Money says that St. Louis Nerfy, no sweat. Now we need the Detroit Nerfy to cash the parlay. And Justin McKelvey on the over 9 in this one. So we're set here. First off, we'll take a look at the line history and the cash flow and then hear what Jose's plan is. This total is at 9. It's minus 117 to the under. This opened at even money to the under. So we've had a 17-cent move to the under. That's a big, big move to the under. Hard not to keep an eye on it. From a money line standpoint here, we have this at minus 107 for Slade Ciccone and the Arizona Diamondbacks. They opened up at plus 116. It's a 23-cent move to the Diamondbacks. Hard not to pay attention to that. 97% of tickets, 95% cash on the over, and this is clearly moving towards the under. They're opening their arms. Anybody who wants to bet the over right now can get it at plus money. 77% of tickets, 79% cash on the Braves. They're saying that Slade Ciccone is going to have a nice start here. Jose, do you believe in that?
Yes, I do. I'm going to be on the Diamondbacks here, full game. And I like the under here, Jimmy. This is a team in the Braves that have just consistently been the best under team in baseball all year. And there's obviously a variety of factors that are included in that, preseason expectations, et cetera, but 32-55, still leading the under train. The Astros are right behind them, by the way, for those keeping track. So, I do think that the Braves go out here, pitch well. Slade Ciccone can go match them, and full game under, and the Arizona Diamondbacks for me. So I will get you those odds in here just a second.
And Jose, for the Daby Cab play today, all we need to do is cut the audio.
Yeah, no, we'll be fine either way.
Put some music in the background, cut the audio. They've written it out there, so it doesn't need anything, more than that.
Yeah, no, it was obviously V1, but I'm fairly confident we'll be fine today as well. So don't worry about that either. But by the way, did you see this? This line is completely flipped. I saw this, obviously you see on screen minus
107, yeah.
Yeah, I'm having now minus 110 Arizona full game. So yeah, that's very very interesting there. So yeah, I'm going to be on Arizona in the under 9 minus 122.
I'm interested in joining you on this. I don't feel like yesterday with the Padres, the market was clearly in your direction, but I couldn't correlate the X's and O's at all. I can do that here. I think highly of Slade.
Yeah, he's in the rotation.
J-Dub says that you shouldn't bet on Slade. Look, Slade has really great stuff. I can't explain why he's being this bad this year. But how you get right is you face the Braves. So, but I hear you, J-Dub. Yeah, I'd like to join you on both of these spots here. So Jose is on the Diamondbacks in the under 9. Let's go into the final spot on the board. This is my double up here. Bassett and Logan Webb. I don't see how they don't shove. I moved on this again before Mally Mal Stacks play of the day. Jose will pull that up for you. But the Stacks play of the day, we just went over it. In
Alonso.
Yes. Yes. Pete Alonso in the Mets game. There it is right there. Thank you. So here we go. Bet365 seems to be late on market moves, around 10 or 11 at night. They seem just to be late. And this, I couldn't believe the line I was getting. I couldn't comprehend it. It was so much better than it was at Pinnacle. And it was legit. It was a real move, real line. So I got it. What did sorry, very quickly here. I just want to see that final score in that WNBA. And did they end up covering the 7? No, they didn't. Oh wait, no, that was the Dream. The Fever did. They covered the 7.5. God, that should have been a huge day there. 3 live bets would have all cash, but at least we got the one. I won't be too angry. But here, this line move was really late at 365. I got the under 4 at -115. A very, very low vig. And I got the 7.5 at -120. 7.5 at -120. Both spots, to me, I felt were slam dunks. How can this lose? The bullpens. But after the Blue Jays bullpen scuffled yesterday, I expect them to at least hold things down. But I don't see how Bassett and Logan Webb don't put up zeros and zeros and zeros here. Bassett coming off that 5-3 loss at home versus the Astros. He allowed 3 runs in the first inning. He got his shit together. He's been fantastic on the road all year. 2.93 ERA. Allowed 4 home runs over 46 innings. Logan Webb is going to completely shut down this meek Jays offense. Logan Webb at home, 2.13 ERA. He's allowed 2 home runs in 55 innings at home. The Blue Jays are hitting 233, 675 OPS versus righties since June 1st. If you think that's bad, the Giants are just as shitty, 221, 680. The bullpens are a problem. That's it. The bullpens are a problem. Mally Mal, we moved heavy on the Phillies in that game. I got the first 5 last night. I'm going to add the full game -1. But that's it. I just want Sanchez to bounce back. That's all I want. But the chat can jump in here. So here we go. Let's go over the line history and the weather. The weather also worked. I don't know if it's changed. Yeah, it's barely blowing out. Halfway through the game, it starts blowing right to left. I know it swirls, but usually it's blowing out, which doesn't scare me anyways. When we get to the line history, the Giants are sitting here at -151. They open up at -140. Look, I get the market should be moving towards them. That's fine. From a total standpoint here, we have this at 7. Now it's moving back to the over. Interesting. So, and it actually got back up to 7.5 for a cup of coffee there. It wasn't a real one, but still the under 7.5 was -118 to the under. I caught it at -120, which I was fine with. Then it moved to 7. But right now it's sort of a 7.5. It's -121 to the over. And it's Pinnacle that's pushing that 7 to the over. If you look at other books, Heritage at -118, Benline -120. So, Pinnacle has that a little harder, hitting that a little harder. And then that first 5, I got 4 -115. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think it was too good to be true. I just thought that 365 was a little late to the party moving it. This is 3.5s everywhere else. The 3.5 is at even money at both Will Hill and Pinnacle, -114 to the over. And we've seen this come up a bit. There's been a 4-cent move in the last 2 or 3 hours. So I'm on the first 5 under 4 and the full game under 7.5. I like them both very much. I don't like the 3.5 or the 7 nearly as much. But I do think I have an advantage with the 4 and 7.5. Take it away, Jose. Our final game on the board, Jays Giants.
Yeah, no action. I stayed off. I obviously, unders were the first thing that stuck out to me in this game. And truly, I was pretty surprised to see the Jays such big underdogs. I lean Jays. I think they've got a little bit of value. But again, this was just a stay off for me, trying to keep my pants on, keep my britches tight. 14 cents of movement towards the Giants for Bet Online opening up at -140 scares me. So no action here for me. Shout out to Coin going up against us, going again me. I don't know if you're on it officially, Jimmy. He's on Atlanta full game money line -110. Coin, just wait. You'll get plus money for that.
Yeah, I would wait. I would wait if you're on it, or wait. Maybe it stops moving at some point.
By the way, thank you for saving me money yesterday, because I was going to bet the Dodgers yesterday, obviously, and then I didn't end up moving on them because I lost power, and they obviously lost. So thank you.
They lost badly.
Yeah.
All right, that is our show for today. Let's review all action. We have to get to WNBA 3 p.m. action. Aces team total under 88.5 from Brizzy in WNBA.
You on it?
I have not moved on it yet. I got 48 minutes or so to do that. It's available for me though. I'm very interested in it. I've got asterisks beside it, so I'll be working on that when this game is over. The over 173.5 from Brizzy in Wings Mercury. Cardinals are taking a 1-0 lead. Thank you, John. Wine Time Sports has given us. Oh, and there was a parlay. But it's busted because Fever didn't cover. Wine Time is on the Cards money line game 1. He's on Dodgers Philadelphia over 9.5. He's on the Oakland Boston over 10. He's on the Angels money line. He's on Minnesota Chicago game 1 under 8 at plus 100. Miami Houston under 8 minus 110. I'm joining him on that. And he's on the Rays money line. I got a lot of the same action as Wine Time. Jose's on the draw in Netherlands, England, and he stayed off Uruguay, Colombia. Mikey Money gave us a huge 3-leg home run parlay. Willie Contreras, Pete Alonso, and Ozuna. I'll pop that in the chat here for you guys, but going for a huge score is our Mikey Money. Tony Trill on home run Arenado. Oh, that was it. Sorry, home run Arenado is what got there. Sorry. Thank you. And then Joe T, play of the day is the over 8 in game 1 Twins Sox. And his second play of the day is the over 8.5 in Cubs Orioles. Billy Friedrich, Pig Milk play of the day is the Orioles first 5 minus a half. Stacks play of the day is Pete Alonso RBI plus 118. Kong Smash play of the day, Sanchez over 17.5 outs. He added to that after the breakdown. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day, Yankees plus 109. Troy Torrance is on the Cardinals on both the money line and the -1 in game 1, and the Twins money line and -1. And BJ's best bet is on the Cardinals game 1 money line, and same with Morgan Spooner on the Cardinals -1. They are in business with the 1-0 lead. Royals Cards game 2, we've stayed off. I'm on the first 3 under 2.5 in White Sox Twinkies. That game has just started. God, we got a lot of action today, Jose. Good God.
Yes,
that
we do.
Game has just started, and the first runner is on in that one. First runner is on. And see, did we get a strikeout there? No, we didn't. So a 2-2 count here. Important for Fetty to get through this first inning. Obviously, very important for me. I'll keep that right here so I can stay a titty of the situation. Jose's on the White Sox first 5 plus a half. This is a very important pitch for Jose as well. He's also on the full game under 8 and fouled off. Then Mikey Money, he gave us the your grandma's wearing your sister's panties again play today. It's White Sox first 5 under 4.5 in this game 1, and game 2 White Sox first 5 on the Torpedo. I plan to be on that first 3 under 2.5 in game 2. Cubbies Orioles, we stayed off. TJ gave us the Tigers first 5 plus 122. I'm going to be on either the first 3 under 2.5 or the first 5 under 4. I do not want to double up. Jose, you moved on the full game under 7.5. What was the juice you got on? I don't have it listed.
Cleveland, Detroit -110.
Locked and loaded. Then Daby Cab, best bet number 1. Padres team total over 3.5, but -130. Rays first 5 -110 is second to the Philadelphia Phillies first 5. So I guess the birthday pick would be the Phillies first 5, but I also think a nice, fun way of handling a birthday pick like that is you could just parlay both those. Jose's on the Rays full game, Wine Time on the Rays as well. TJ's on the Phillies -135. I'm going to add Phillies -1. I'm already on the Phillies first 5 -125. Jose's on Sanchez over 17.5 outs alongside Kong's clips. Jose's on the Rockies first 5 at plus 150. I'm going to be on them first 5 plus a half. The question is, do I also add first 3? I may. This is a big pitch. Athletics, Red Sox, we stayed off. TJ's on the over 9.5. Wine Time's on the over 9.5. Washington, New York. I'm going to join them. TJ's also on the Yurfee at -126. Daby Cab's on Alvarez over 1.5 bases at plus 115. I don't want to double up, but both the first 3 under 2.5. Oh, no. Be foul. Tell me that's foul. Oh, no. Is that foul? Somebody, yeah, he's running back. Oh, good God. We got so lucky there. Jesus.
You just scared me there, Jimmy. You just scared me.
Oh, my good God. Correa was all over it. That must have been foul by... Oh, no, it's foul by like 2 feet. But good God. That was going to be bad. Correa's on him. This is not a good start by Fetty. TJ's on Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, first 5 over 4.5. Cab's on Seager over 1.5 bases. Jose's on the Diamondbacks and the under. I'm going to join him on that. The 9 p.m. game screwed me on Friday night badly. I was in decent to good shape, and I fell apart. Hopefully that won't be the case here. And then I've doubled up on the Giants, Jays unders. This is a long at bat here.
You've made me turn on the game now. So
that is our show for today. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And the Phillies money line for 5 units will be bet after the Cardinals game for our guy BJ. Mally Mal, it's T Gray's birthday. Thank you guys so much. Mally Mal, Nunya. Oh, the Nunya business parlay. Let's get that copied and pasted. Atlanta Braves first half full game, and Albies over or 2 or more bases. Ozuna 2 or more bases. And we have a problem, man. A big problem. That was a great at bat by Craze. God, he's playing well right now. Okay, let me just copy and paste our guy Nunya business's action. God, this is not good. Okay. Philly Eagle Flyer, BJ, Morgan Spooner, LQ, Big O, Mikey Money, Wine Time Sports, Tony Trill, John Chow, Coin. Thank you guys so much. Troy Torrance, Ramon Scott, the Clark Edge. Thank you guys so much. Nate Dogg, all you guys. Von Polo, truly. Rob McMahon, Joey Marinaccio, the Dapper Capper, Lee Davis, Razor Sharp Picks. Thank you guys. Truly, we have nothing without you guys. I am going on vacation for the All-Star break tomorrow. So Jose will be handling things Thursday and Friday. I'll be back next Friday for that full MLB card. But I'm going to be taking off here with the fam. Jose,
where are you going?
I'm going to Cuba. Yeah.
Who's this guy? Who is this man? Worldly traveled?
Going to Cuba. So it's really cheap to go to Cuba in the summertime. Really, really cheap. Food's terrible and mosquitoes are everywhere. But whatever. I just want some time with the kids.
Well, the question everyone's I'm sure asking is, are you going to be gambling there?
No.
Dry?
I have my CFL action in, and then I will make more CFL action on Sunday. By the way, I've told you guys just the smash and grab of market moves that we have when I put my action out. I got the Bombers at -2.5. They're now -4.5. I've got the Lions 6.5. Now it's 7. So that's not a big difference. And the same with the Alouettes. I only have 6.5. That's not moved because there's some injuries to Fleming and Duquois. But I have the Lions first half, and I'm taking the Lions first quarter. I wasn't joking about fading Shea Patterson. I'm going to invest heavily on fading Shea Patterson in his first road start in the CFL. 14 first downs, 30 points. That's not real. That's not real. I will challenge the Rough Riders. But that Bombers -2.5 to -4.5, that's a smash and grab. That 2.5 was only -120 as well. This is a huge pitch for us. Now another full count. Fetty's in big trouble. Fetty's in big trouble. Jose, thank you for all your hard work, my man. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you for the kind words from you guys in the chat. It means a ton to me. So thank you. Jose, any last words? And can you please bless our action and let's us into the future?
Yeah, of course. We've got a full day of baseball coming.
Loaded bases, no out.
Yeah. This is, Jimmy, I'm praying for. Oh God, yeah. I'm praying for the old gets out of a jam and then locks in for the rest of the start, but it's not looking good. But shout out to you guys. We appreciate you guys nonetheless. Yes, you'll be stuck with me for the next few days, but it's still going to be a whole lot of fun. We'll have guests coming on, of course. And like I said earlier with Daby Cab, we'll be doing some MLB action there live in the flesh there in Arlington. We're going to be hanging out outside the stadium. Any low baggers, any Pub Sports Radio fans want to join us, come right out. Daby Cab is big as fuck, so you won't miss them. And you just need to follow the smell of weed and you'll find Daby Cab. So thank you guys as always. We appreciate you guys. Say hey and leche, you los bookmakers.